All right, episode 36, TJ Martino podcast. We're here, very happy, very excited. It's going to be a fun episode. I got 3 of my good friends from high school. Thomas MacVittie, back, recurring guest, former Kansas quarterback, in the building. And new to the podcast, my man in the blue,
Yo.
Joe Higgins, is in the building.
How we doing?
And then we also have another newcomer to the podcast, Robert Bobby Kindle.
That's right. Hey, thanks for having me, TJ.
Bobby. You say no to ratchets?
I'm Bobby K. Can.
That was your senior quote.
It was. That's forever ingrained in history.
That is ingrained in history.
Yeah.
But no, how have you guys been?
Good.
How's it been? Hanging in there?
That's probably the greatest senior quote. Like, I went through it recently, and I mean, that was.
There's some pretty boring ones.
Yeah, I honestly figured too, because I was in the yearbook class. TJ was a part of it as well. We were both in the yearbook class, right? In Mr. Raymond. So building inside of the room that we did that, they had all of the previous yearbooks. So as I'm putting that down, I'm like, I hope in like 5-10 years, someone picks this up like, that's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if someone appreciates it.
Mine was just plain old quick.
Just quick.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a huge saying going around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Muller is. What was mine? Oh yeah, mine was. You want to bark all day, little doggy, or are you gonna bite? That's from from Reservoir Dogs, the Quentin Tarantino classic.
That is a classic.
Not seen that movie.
Yeah, but that just encapsulates like the senior quotes, like the concept of the senior quote. Like I feel like that's gonna go away because like I feel like they're gonna get rid of yearbooks. It just seems like something that I could see them just, doing away with eventually. Like the school system. Like I just see them being like,
Yeah, I don't.
Or making it digital.
And no one's
And if
probably
it's
going to
digital,
change.
nobody's going to want to
Exactly.
use it, you know?
I mean, it's such like almost like an heirloom thing. You know what I mean? Like you have your old high school yearbook that you pull out.
Like a physical copy.
Yeah,
tangible things.
Yeah,
right?
it's a tangible thing, right?
You gotta
pull it
be
out,
able
you
to
like
hold it. You gotta be
show
able to see it.
Right, you show your kids.
Yeah, it's
years
just going to
later.
be a PDF eventually.
Yeah, it's keeping a PDF of. Dude,
Yeah.
speak like off of that too. The same thing with I just graduated from University of Cincinnati here in December, and they like you don't even get the physical diploma anymore. Like they was like you have to pay extra for it, but they give you a digital one. It was like that's great. Like
A digital diploma?
that's what I got. Yeah.
They didn't even send it through the
You gotta
mail?
print it
No,
out.
I had to pay the $350
Along with
Wow.
a virtual
Yeah.
commencement.
Oh yeah, right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, the virtual commencement. That's what we got.
I'm still
Literally.
waiting to figure out. I'll be graduating in the summer, so we'll figure out.
Yeah,
if
what
I'm
are they
gonna be
saying?
walking.
Are they saying that that's a maybe? Or
As of now, it's a no. And they said
Really?
they're not really getting their hopes up. So, I mean, that's in March, April, May, June, July. That's 5 months. So a lot can change in 5
So
months.
Yeah.
But
would it be July? Is that the
it's August 5th. August 5th is great.
because
Yeah, I
we
know.
got this plan by May to roll out vaccines, so maybe.
But you also got to think they got to be good to go at least a month in advance to get everything all prepped and everything.
yeah.
So if it's just a day before, there's no shot.
That's true. Yeah, it's really the mobilization of it, I guess, is what they're stumbling with right now when it comes to the vaccine.
Yeah.
It's, distribution and whatnot.
Hopefully we'll get there. I think we're on the right path.
Seems like they're producing a lot though.
Yeah, they just got the J&J one that just came out, so now it's one shot. My parents both just got that in the last 2 days. So.
Didn't they have the, they got,
Johnson, both of them?
Both of them, yeah.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
both of them. So my mom was yesterday, and Jeff went in today. Got it. So they're done. That's got to be a relief,
Especially you only
Makes
having to do
life
one
easy.
vaccine.
Right. Yeah.
Only
it's just-
one vaccine. You just go in once, you're done. You don't have to come back.
Yeah, that middle ground. I wonder what that like. If you're in between vaccines,
yeah.
like, is there like how good are you?
You're screwed. You're screwed.
50%.
You can't let your guard.
You're only it probably like gives you like it probably cuts like half of what the effective 2 would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Well,
think-
obviously that's
Yes,
just
yes.
mathematics.
Not that I know anything about how vaccines work,
No,
but
not an idea.
do you guys think it's anything wrong with how fast they pushed it out, or you think it's necessary?
I think it's all approved, man. They got the best of the best working on that. I think it's all approved by board. Definitely.
I mean, yeah. It just depends on if you trust the medical establishment. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, personally, though, I'm just like, I'm not going to get the vaccine personally just because, like, I'm in a good enough shape. I'm confident enough in my immune system that, and I already have the antibodies, so I know I'm on the right track to
Yeah.
Oh, if you have the antibodies, yeah.
Yeah.
At what
And I
point?
never even got sick. I just have the antibodies, which is just,
Did you?
I guess.
Well,
it is
yeah,
what it
you
is,
just
but-
passed it. I mean, some people.
I was just a
it's
host
like
at some
that.
point. I didn't know.
At what point do you guys think
Apologize.
it'll be forced?
That's
Not
what
forced,
my
but like
thought
your
is,
kids
that-
can't be in class unless blah blah blah.
Right. That's a good
A
point.
possibility for sure. It's a
With,
possibility. I mean,
especially
I
how
don't know.
bad it is.
Like vaccine only places. Or
Yeah,
something,
you can't go to Disneyland without a vaccine.
Vaccine,
Yeah, right.
show up with your card, immunization proof.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, that
I
might
could-
be a thing too.
I could-
Another form of like ID.
Yeah, I could
Yeah,
very much
like
see it
that.
being like
A lot of people have speculated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it being like in work, like you can't come to the office until you're vaccinated, kind of. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel like that
there
could be
you
a
go.
big, you know, like with there's other vaccines, like or at least for public schools, most schools used
Yeah.
to have like
Exactly.
measles,
Like the
and-
basic immunizations.
Yeah.
Right, like that
Yeah.
probably will get added to the list at some point.
Yeah.
Something that's
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Like
can't
a
see it
common
not.
thing.
yeah, right.
I can't
for,
see it
for
not
how
getting
much
added.
this caused. around the
Exactly.
world.
Yeah.
At this
exactly.
point,
And if
it's
one-
just like it's really just gonna give the public peace of mind more than anything, and that's really what I think that the reason why they were just fine with pushing the vaccine as fast as they could was just like they're like, you know, we need to just get this out and,
Yep.
and calm the public, and you know that's how you do it is by vaccinations. A lot of people like it.
you can look at the graphs. I mean, they're as far as we know how true they are, but they're going down. Immunization is definitely helping, but we've been in the going down times about 15 times already. So
Yeah,
we'll see if it actually
we're always
stays
around
down.
in the curve.
Yeah, always rounding or flattening the curve, and then the curve just burst out again.
It is getting warmer. That's
It's
why.
true.
Hey, that's why
I
we
think-
can just chill out here. That's why I love being out here.
Mhm.
Any day of the week.
I'm saying I
This
came
is my
over.
sanctuary.
Well, we saw what Mother on Wednesday. I came out here, man. This is a good spot right here, T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first
No,
podcast?
we watched. We went and saw Thomas. You and I went and saw what was the movie? Willy's Wonderland.
What's that?
Don't
Okay.
even.
Okay, let me explain the plot to you guys.
Is this a new movie?
Yeah, it came
Okay.
out like
It was
a couple
listen,
weeks ago. We saw it in theaters the other day.
$5 tickets. $5 tickets. The seats sat like all the way back.
The recliner
nice,
seats,
a
yeah.
nice movie theater.
Right here at the movie theater
Yeah.
by me, but
AMC?
Yeah.
no, the Cobb.
Oh yeah, we went to
Cobb,
AMC first, and they didn't have it, so we had to go to Cobb. Cobb was nice though.
You guys want to see that movie that bad?
Yeah.
Well, no, we wanted to see Indiana Jones. So we were gonna go see Indiana Jones at AMC because it was showing on Fandango, and we show up to buy tickets, and we're like, "Can we get 2 to Indiana Jones?" And they're like, actually, that's a private screening."
Yeah.
You know, because I guess they rent out the
Yep.
theater to, you know, anybody right now. So
For $100.
is it $100?
My mom told me it was
cheap.
$100.
That's
100 or
cheap.
200.
Dude, that's a
100 or
good ass
200,
deal, yo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were just like, all right, well, I don't want to see anything else that they were showing, so we're just like, we'll go to. I'm like, let's just check out Willy's Wonderland at Cobb.
No.
That's the only thing that's like showing, like, that gives us enough time to get snacks and stuff. So,
So what was it? What was the plot?
So-
Yeah,
Okay,
good
so,
luck.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead
that's
and
the
explain
premise.
this,
So we
bro.
got
I'll give you my
$5
rating after this.
we knew nothing about this movie. I knew nothing about it except for that it was a Nicolas Cage movie,
Oh,
and
okay.
I love Nicolas
Respected,
Cage.
yeah, very respected. I went
He's
to
a
see
legend.
it. I went to
He is
see
a
it.
legend.
And so I the last time I saw a Nicolas Cage movie, it was just a movie I went in, saw, knew nothing about it, and it was just the wackiest, craziest thing. It's called Mandy, for anybody that out there that knows it. But yeah, it was a wacky movie. So, but it was really entertaining. So I was like, I want to do this again. Like, let's just go see another Nicolas Cage movie's out. And I don't know anything of what it's about, so let's go check it out. We sit in this theater, and this movie is basically about Nicolas Cage just drives this Camaro. He's this like
It's a
dude
nice
with
car.
he has
It's
like
a
the
nice
leather
car.
jacket,
Definitely
like
a
the
nice
biker
car.
jacket, and he's got the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
He's just driving, and like
One of those guys, yes.
yeah, and he like pulls up, I guess, to this place because like his tires break, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they put the spikes up.
Yeah,
going
that's right. They
into the
spiked the
small
road.
town, going
They
into
set
the
a trap,
small
yeah.
town, put the spikes up. They said it was kids, but it was actually the officers, huh? Because they set
They
up.
were setting him up, yeah.
Mhm.
And basically, so what happens is he goes and has to stop because he runs over the spikes and it busts his tires.
Is this
he has
the
to go
opening
to
scene
a
or-
car repair
Yes,
shop.
opening
Okay.
scene.
Yeah.
Opening scene is him just driving.
Yeah.
just
And he has
fast
to-
through the wherever he was.
Spoiler warning for anybody that nobody's gonna watch this movie, but if you do,
Don't go.
whatever. Anyway,
They're probably happy you're telling.
whatever. Who
Yeah.
cares? So anyway, they're driving, and he has to stop over, and he goes to the car repair shop, and basically it's like this, bearded dude, right? And he's got like the gut and everything. He's like, yeah, I don't, we only take cash here. And he's trying to give him the credit card to pay for the, the repair of his wheels, I guess. And the guy's like, we only take cash here. And he's like, you don't got any cash? He's like, all right, then you'll have to do something for me. You'll have to work.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And in Nick Cage movie, that can only mean one thing.
And listen, Nick Cage doesn't say a word.
No, he's not. He does not. He has not said a word of dialogue at this point. So, Nick Cage is like, basically just, he's like, okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Nick Cage agrees, and so he's like, all right, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to go meet with this businessman, and he's gonna have you clean this old,
It was like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, like kids restaurant that they've shut down, with the animatronics and all that. And so Nick Cage shows up, and this dude's he looks like Doug Dimmadome from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yep.
And he shows up, and he's like, he picks him up in the car, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go take you to the place and show you it. And he rolls through, and this place is an old. As soon as they pull up, it's old, decrepit,
just super run down.
And it has spray painting on the walls outside. It says gateway to hell, child killer place,
graffiti all over.
Yeah, graffiti all over it, and Nick Cage is just looking at it with the face he
wears shades.
He's got the shades on too, dude. He's super badass in this movie, and still doesn't say anything at this point. And so this guy's Doug Dimmadome showing him around basically, and he's like, this is Willy's Wonderland. Here's Willy and his band, and there's 6 or 7 animatronic creatures
big
up there,
furry,
like Chuck E. Cheese's
animals.
band. That's what it's kind of supposed to be. And so Nicolas Cage is looking around and for the whole time he's drinking this
soda. It's soda
pop.
It's energy.
It's an energy drink, and it's in a can. I don't know. They never explain what it is, what it's for, but he's doing it the whole movie, and I guess it powers him. But anyway, so he's drinking that, talking to this guy, and
no, not talking. He's not talking.
Well, yeah, the guy's talking to him, and basically he takes the job. He gets the Willy's T-shirt. And he puts it on, and he starts mopping the floors, doing the shit.
Cleaning
but
it up.
As soon as he starts cleaning, some of the animatronics start moving. And, in the background, you can kind of start seeing their hands and stuff move, slowly.
Is it
off the stage. They're all on the stage. They do a performance, right? They're whatever they're doing. And they start moving off the stage. And then he turns around, and they stop. And then he goes back to cleaning.
Like
and
Toy
then
Story, kind of.
Like Josh was thinking that, like Toy Story, yeah.
And so he's cleaning, and next thing you know, he's there by himself, cleaning. Just nighttime's coming. They're starting to kind of add tension, and next thing you know, this giant bird creature
this sounds
shows
awful.
up and I'm gonna effing kill you or something.
And then he says, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, he's and literally the bird just starts pecking him in the face. Yeah, and
long ass
he
neck.
takes the broom or the mop that he's using and just rocks him in the head, and then he basically just bashes his skull into the ground, and there's no talking the whole time, and then he goes into the back and starts playing pinball, and this is another way I guess he charges that they don't explain it, but he's drinking the soda and playing the pinball.
Go back to where he's beating the living stuff out of this thing. Bro, he pulls out the cable cord out of his neck.
That's right. He pulls out the
so he knows that they're all starting to come for him, and he goes back to cleaning, and he sets them all up, and then you can explain the rest.
Well, you're right. He goes back to he literally goes back to cleaning right after he killed him. At that point, I'm like, why is
puts it in a trash bag? Puts a trash bag by the door.
Right. Yeah, you're right. He scoops them up and puts them in the trash bag. Yeah.
Super bloody scene. It's weird. It's very. I know. It's
but
very
their blood
weird.
is black, fluid
it's
blood. So basically. He has another meeting with a gorilla in the an animatronic gorilla in the bathroom, and that is my favorite scene in the whole movie. He literally smashes his head on the urinal. Smashes this gorilla's head on the urinal, and then they cut to a wide shot.
You gotta explain. So he goes into the bathroom. He's starting to clean the bathroom.
Yeah, he's cleaning the bathroom,
and the lights are on. Bro, it's a coronavirus movie, bro.
Oh,
It was
an
$5. Like, it was just a very good actor, just like in a.
It just sounds like Shock Factor. Just like, I bet you won't know what's coming next.
I mean, it was just, it was like strobe effect. It was always strobe effect.
Like, basically what happens is he starts, because they basically each send like another animatronic after him, and he kills it every time. So he kills the gorilla in the bathroom, and then he kills the
who's that?
Alligator. No, him.
Willy, who's the main robot. Willy the Weasel. He's a weasel. He's he's like Chuck E. Cheese.
He's the head guy. He's the big head singer, right?
So basically what happens
go ahead.
is...
What you got? You got a question?
Why didn't they just get them all at once? Like, why was it like an individual?
That's a very...
Like,
that's a very good question.
They're just like up there frozen on stage, and like, but there's just one less of them every time. It was weird, and like it was like every time he had like a timer like that was like next to him.
Yeah,
like, timer
it was it was a watch. He had a wristwatch.
Yeah, it was on his watch. He had a timer on his watch, like, and every time it would go off, then the monsters would attack him. So anyway, he kills the gorilla, he kills all these other ones, and the whole time there's this subplot with these kids that are like, they're trying to go and burn down Willys because they were traumatized by something that happened to them when they were kids
high school kids, in a small like country, they're high school.
Yeah, and so they show up. They're gonna burn the place down, and they find out Nicolas Cage in there. Then they go in, the one girl goes in there to save him, basically, and then all the other kids just go in because they're there, and they're basically getting murdered by the robots the whole movie. There's one scene where the boyfriend, who's like a super simp, gets like straight up like hypnotized by one of the robots. She's like, I'm not one of the other ones. Like, I'm just trying to be good. And then she like shoots her tongue. She's like a frog. She like shoots her tongue at him and like rips his head off or whatever. Like, it's crazy. It's
super weird.
We're watching this thing like, what the hell? Like, but I wasn't that shocked because I've seen weirder.
Upset that I paid $5 for this movie at this point.
it was, dude. I thought it was so funny though. That first scene with the bird, I was losing it.
There's mom.
Hello, mother. Yeah. Shout out to Karen.
Karen.
But they're basically killing all these different things, and it comes down to the fact that the police who take in one of the girls that were traumatized from the Willys. She takes her in and basically finds out that Willys was like the robots, the animatronics. The reason they can come alive is because they're like reincarnates of a like satanic cult that like was running this.
It was a family, right? It was
they were like a family or like a cult or something. And they
very early in the day, whenever it was open, and like in order to stay within the store, they had to do this.
They had to feed them children because they do child sacrifice. The satanic.
So why were they going after Nick Cage? He's far from a child.
So this is when they were already the. Like the demonic process.
So it was like they
were already they
what?
What's the word? Feasted?
Yeah, they feast on the kids. They basically take the kids and they sacrifice them to the satanic rituals.
They feasted on the officers. There was another plot with the officers, another side plot with the officers.
Yeah,
where the officers would put the spike strip, right, that got Nicolas Cage stuck.
Oh, they're a part of it.
They're colluding with Willy and his robots. So feeding them children too.
Were kids just scarce at this point? So like Nick Cage will just.
All right. So this needs to be explained more, T.
Yeah. So let me explain this.
No. I got this.
Okay, you got it. Go.
So the officers put the spike strip down, and they said, "Oh, that must have been kids." So then they say the officers say, "Oh, I know a car shop that can fix it." And then Nicolas Cage goes to the car shop. And the mechanic says, "Oh, we only take cash," because remember he was paying for card. And he says, "I know a job that someone will pay for your tires." Oh. So then the owner of Willys says, "Clean it for a night, and the tires are yours."
Yes, you're right.
Get out after a night.
Is this like the whole no card cash? Was this like a ploy so no one can
track
where he was?
No. So then it goes deeper. So then the officers, right? The officers and the mechanic, they would fucking donate or sacrifice people to Willys to feed the early family that turned like demonic that were running the animals, the ones behind the stage and like the animatronics. So then it was this whole like circle of things that the officers kept doing, and then the high school kids whatever the side plot the high school kids were, they saw that Nicolas Cage that he was trying to clean it.
Yeah.
And they went in to save him.
Yeah.
So then they were in it when the animals were trying to kill them. And then
yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Some of the animals killed them, and then Nicolas Cage just keeps cleaning.
The knight like impales the kid. That, like I said, the one kid gets lured and gets attacked by the one.
Scene. Yeah,
there's a lot of gory violence. It's like it's hammed up though. It doesn't take itself seriously. That's what I liked about the movie. But
yeah, it was
eventually
funny.
you find out that the police were colluding with. With Willy to keep him from terrorizing the city, because if they wouldn't have bargained and made the deal, then Willy would have just went ham on everybody in the city. So they figured he would have went ham, preserving the rest of the people by just donating a few people to sacrifice, and they couldn't lure any more children in because the Willy's Wonderland was shut down, so they had to resort to getting adults and trying to just lure people in, and then they picked Nick Cage, and he ended up being the wrong person.
So then a scene when Nicolas Cage was at the shop getting his tires fixed was a big board of missing children sign.
Yeah.
So then the missing children sign that led to Willy's, that all those people were missing because that's all the people the officers in the town fed to Willy's to keep the whatever satisfied.
5-star dining.
And so basically the movie ends with a big showdown with Willy and Nicolas Cage, and he ends up smashing Willy into oblivion, and then he gets back in his Camaro, and the one girl that's the main kid character, she goes with Nick Cage, and they dip.
Right.
So that's the end of the movie.
Let's give a rating out of 10, both of you.
Let's give a rating and then move on, because I don't think that this movie deserves...
anyone knows this movie.
It doesn't deserve this much attention of a rating. I rate it 3 out of 10.
I go probably I do out of 5, so I'll do
I need a reason.
I'll do a 2.8 out of 5 for me.
I need a reason.
And I'll give you the reason short and sweet. Basically, I thought the movie was fun. I thought it was funny. Like, it didn't take itself very seriously. It was just it was like kind of playing on the campy like horror movie tropes, of the 80s and 90s with the animatronics and the characters and all that. And I liked how they kind of had like a demonic Chuck E. Cheese and then Nick Cage. I wish Nick Cage would have said something in the movie. Like I said,
he didn't say anything.
He didn't say
a zero word.
He has zero dialogue in the entire movie.
He said zero.
Nick Cage to say something.
He doesn't say anything.
I mean, when you bring him into a movie, it's going to be
so. It is pretty badass though. But yeah, it is pretty awesome to see him smash stuff. But it is only an hour and 20-minute movie, so if you got some time,
$5, like
you can't beat it.
Fun.
Can't beat it for a first time back to the movies in a while. Yeah. It was good.
Good experience.
Yeah. But what's the you know what I watched today though?
Yeah, what's that?
Mother.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I mean,
I need to hear about this.
I was thinking about that too when you're talking about Nick Cage keeps drinking some kind of thing, because that was a theme in Mother as well. Is the girl?
This movie was very similar to Willy's in a little bit of ways.
Yeah, and it was similar to Midsommar in a way too, which was a more popular. I would say a much more popular movie. But like Jennifer, what's her name?
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is the protagonist. I guess you could say her and her husband or boyfriend or whatever they are, partner. And she is like the whole movie. She keeps drinking a potion or beverage.
It's in the like cabinet.
Liquid.
In her bathroom cabinet.
I don't know. And it never really circled back to that. Like at the end of the
yellow Gatorade.
Yeah, it was
that good stuff, huh?
What? I don't know. What were your TJ? You're a big movie guy. What were your thoughts on that?
On Mother?
On Mother, yeah.
Mother!
So I had never seen this movie. I had heard about it when it came out, and I had heard mixed feelings about it. I didn't know much about the movie, but I checked it out because you guys had said you'd watched it last night, and we were going to talk about it. So I was like, yeah, I'm down. So I threw it on, and man, it's a heavy movie. And this movie was made by Darren Aronofsky. That's the director.
I know that
Black Swan.
He's done some
Black
dark
Swan.
movies. Yeah, he did blanking out, The Wrestler. He did
Noah with Russell Crowe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream as well. That one is really heavy. Has anyone seen that one?
I've not.
A long time ago, but I don't.
Yeah, it's a dense movie. But this one is kind of, I kind of got the same feelings in my gut from this movie that I did from Requiem for a Dream, but for different reasons. Because this movie is gut. Yeah, it makes you feel. If you got a soft stomach, this one will make you cringe a little bit at times.
Jennifer Lawrence,
especially
is
in the second half. But
dude, she's
a good
very.
actor.
She's like, yeah, she's very good.
She's good in the movie.
She's been
She
good
is.
for a while too.
And
because she started in what she really became popular
Hunger
in
Games.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hunger
and that
Games,
was
yeah.
that was early 2012.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
want to
Yeah.
say. I feel like we were like 8th grade
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
Hunger Games were coming out. Yeah.
That was a good series.
It's the movie. Basically, I mean, it leaves you until the end. It leaves you being like, all right, well, how is this going to tie together?
Yeah.
Right? It just seems like everything is a random like occurrence happening to Jennifer, and she's the only one that seems to be out of the loop, right? Like her husband's inviting strangers into the house. And,
oh, bro, that was.
Yeah, because it does start off like we watched a little. Me and Thomas watched a little synopsis of it afterwards, and it got.
I would actually recommend watching it just to like provoke your thoughts about the movie because it is like. I mean,
it's polarizing. It's a very polarizing film.
It is,
But
yeah.
for me, a lot of people either love it or hate it from what I was reading. But honestly, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with this one. Because there's a lot of things I liked about this movie. But I think tonally it just is very inconsistent. Like the first half of this movie just is very slow. And, Jennifer Lawrence's character just is way too oblivious for me to like believe.
To take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel
like
that.
she's
everything wrong could happen to her.
Give it a little more
like
context.
you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I mean, like her character, like you said, her husband in the movie, Javier Bardem's character, just invites a bunch of people over
He
to
played
their
a very
house.
good role,
And you're just kind of wondering why is he doing
it's a
this?
very big house.
And I get that, and I get that, but like, she does not. Respond to it really at all.
She doesn't want them.
Not
She doesn't want the people there. First, it starts with one dude that claims he's a doctor and that he's lost or homeless or something.
Yeah, it's the Man in Black from Westworld.
Yeah. And then he invites his wife.
Yeah.
And then
Michelle Pfeiffer, his wife. Yeah,
their kids come and argue about the will.
Yeah, their kids come and start fighting in the house.
Oh, and then one of the kids kills one of the other kids, two boys.
Kills
them.
Yeah, kills him.
Bro. And it's
over a family argument.
What
it's
up?
over the will. It's
who's
a will.
that lady in
Yeah,
the
it's over the
beginning?
will. That's right.
In the trailer, who's the scary lady?
The
trailer.
the mom. I don't
Is
know
that
her
Mother?
name. It's the mom. No,
It's-
Mother is.
you mean scary lady? It may be. Here,
Not
can you
Jennifer
fix your
Lawrence.
mic?
Yeah, not Jennifer Lawrence. It's like right when you watch the trailer.
It's the mom.
Probably Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's
Yes, it is. Is she like an antagonist in that or no?
Yeah, she's pretty. She does give some pretty scary stares in that movie, but she's kind of a
the one
fake
where
out.
she was walking out the door, the one in the trailer.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
that was actually.
She kind of ends up being a red herring. Like she doesn't, she doesn't really end up.
Distracts you from the movie. Yeah, gotcha.
She doesn't end up really, doing any.
She's just plain
all that
and
much
simple
outside of
rude.
just provoke.
She's just rude.
Yeah, she kind of
She's a
leads.
rude woman.
Everyone's rude.
Yeah,
But she's rude.
That's it. But because then they're trying to draw that back to the whole context of Jennifer Lawrence's Mother Earth, and it just shows how people,
Well,
Mother Earth.
that's the spoiler.
That's
the
you're
movie.
fine.
Yeah,
This is a 4-year-old movie. I have a 3-year rule, so this one's good.
Oh, you
I
think
thought this
4?
came out recently.
Oh, I'm thinking
This is
2.
2017.
This is 2017.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean, this is-
2017.
if you haven't seen it,
okay.
if you haven't seen it at this point,
Yeah,
you're not-
I do a
Okay,
3-year
I didn't know
rule,
it was
so
that
we can
old.
spoil this.
Okay.
Spoiler warning for anybody.
I didn't know it was
Yeah,
that old.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it ends up kind of being like masked as environmental,
or religious
Mother
too, with the
Earth,
whole
yeah.
with her husband, and then people are coming to worship him.
I wish.
yeah, there's a lot of biblical,
Yeah,
I wish
satanic
the,
references,
It
but
starts off as almost like a.
The Rock was explained, bro. I wish The Rock was explained. It really wasn't explained.
It was explained.
What
but
was it though?
It's I don't know. The whole movie starts off as this home invasion horror movie, right? And then it takes you into these deep subliminal messages.
They
over-
all were after that stone
But-
though,
but
and
the
that's what I
stone-
just didn't
Yeah.
understand.
And remember at the end of the movie when everything burns down and then it comes back into that stone, and that's kind of like the
Yeah.
process starting over. So that's why it was so valuable. Is that's the continuous cycle of what goes on with that house, and then everything burns down. Then Jennifer Lawrence wakes back up, and hi, honey, and it's just all. So
it's I think it's because the soul. I basically
Have you
think
seen
it's what I kind of interpreted it as was the
Bro,
stone. It basically
listen.
represents the soul of the
It's so
woman, his
whack.
previous woman.
What?
yeah,
It's the soul of his previous woman, physical, materialized, and basically he uses it as a way to reset and feed, the same thing that
It's
Willy was
like,
trying to do, the satanic rituals of human sacrifice, that's pretty much what they ended up doing.
Okay, but
Because he carries the
that scene
baby
is so
over.
absurdly just vulgar.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the second half of that movie gets super dark, man. It really does.
Sometimes I don't like that. I don't want to.
I don't like that.
That's kind of
I don't want to see
thing,
that.
You know? Like he's done that in a lot.
I don't
of his
think
movies.
anybody wants to see it, bro. When she was chasing her baby,
Yeah.
and first you could hear the neck snap. And then she yes, bro. Listen, and then she kept running after it, and then the cheering went to like sorrow, and like sorrow, and then she was still running, and then she went to the priest, and then she saw it on the table. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, it cuts.
I'm not gonna say what it looks like, but.
Yeah, and then you see all the people circling around with their hands, and you can see them
and then she starts crying, and then she turns around, and everybody's got blood and like eating like pieces.
So she picks up a glass jar and just starts going after him, and just starts stabbing.
Oh, bro, and then she starts just cutting people up. Yeah, she grabs a glass jar, bro, and then she starts, and then so we did the research after it. And what was it about Exodus or something? It was about
that's one of the first 5 chapters of the Bible.
It was I don't remember, but it like followed
in
plagues,
like the Pharaoh guy.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Like a tent.
Exactly, a frog was there. Yep.
With Moses. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
A frog jumped out of that the cellar in the basement. I wish they really explained that more because I didn't understand.
I haven't seen the movie, but I think that's the point. It's like,
but they didn't really explain it well enough though because. She just, I mean, that was burning through the floor. They barely explained that, and then she found where it was. It was ceramic. She beat that through, and then she just found like tanks of gasoline or whatever that was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then, but that was not explained at all.
My question is, what were the people down in the basement in the cages?
Prostitutes.
Yeah, it was human trafficking. That's what I figured. So that's really what this was.
It was like, also like social.
So he was basically having her decorate the upstairs while downstairs he has a bunch of people.
Like
she
partying
had no idea.
and having.
She had no idea. Like we're supposed to believe that. You see, like you can poke holes through this movie, but I for the tension and the claustrophobic feel, especially when you see her like going through the crowds of people and all that, and she's just terrified. It definitely makes you feel anxious for sure, and that's what Aronofsky does a great job of with his movies. But it's not for everybody. There's a lot of people that have given him a lot of pushback because of that. But I respect people that want to tell their stories and do it how you got to do it.
I agree. I did like it in the end.
And I did like it. It's not over the top. Maybe it is a little bit. But
it got to a point where I was just
in what way? Just
disturbed.
Yeah.
Straight up disturbed.
It's very disturbing.
And it got very dark, and then it wrapped around pretty well. We watched the synopsis. It explained it. Came full circle. Yeah. Now I understand and I like it. Yeah. We watch videos on YouTube.
Actually, a great segue would be TJ. What you were just talking about the movie making you feel claustrophobic, or like that is an interesting point on how movies can make you really feel.
Yeah, it depends on how they shoot it. Like,
usually
when they're shooting down and in those tight spaces, man, you can make it feel very uncomfortable.
And when, like we just talked, we mentioned it earlier. The Midsummer, right? And
yes,
it's got great review. Like Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I reviewed it.
Yep. Did you? Yeah. No, I mean. Great movie.
I got a question about that.
The hopeless feeling of not going to spoil it. But
that's
you don't watch movies.
You
don't watch movies, bro.
I do watch movies.
Old.
It's not.
He doesn't watch movies.
It's the whole feeling of them being out in a foreign country.
It's won awards. This Midsummer won awards. Well, then watch it, bro. It won awards.
Bro, it won awards. Don't you know?
You know how many movies have won awards? A lot.
Good ones. Yeah, good ones.
Not always, but yeah.
I think those awards are shams sometimes.
The awards system.
But no, what were you saying about the claustrophobic?
Oh yeah.
Just the overarching theme at the beginning of that movie of just being in a different country, and then they're not spoiling, and they're taking psychedelic as part of the whole
experience.
And just the lost feeling. It's like even if you haven't had an experience of being to another country or taking any kind of psychedelic drug, you almost feel that like, wow, like this, the hopelessness of like, I don't know where I am. I don't,
I love the way it's shot where you kind of see the camera start to blip out like here and
absolutely.
there.
It really feels like you're getting, into the same situation that, what's the actress's name? That she's in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Florence Pugh is her name.
Florence
she's
Pugh.
really good in that movie.
TJ, you know everybody.
Yeah,
I do.
Actor,
she's dating that old guy.
producer.
that's a movie guru right
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's right. She's dating.
He's like 25 years older than him.
Who is it?
Who is it?
It's,
Ben Affleck, right? Or,
No, not Ben
that's
Affleck.
a different girl.
TJ, isn't this how you started just podcasting and recording through movie reviews? Was it movie reviews or sports?
Both.
Bro, way back when, bro, I remember you would always review movies and you would always throw in a fit. And you would always throw in a big old fit for everyone.
Fit up.
And that's why I was always so excited to see what kind of fit you were throwing on for the next
Hey, I'm
movie.
fitted right now. You kidding me?
What was episode 1 about? Episode 1 of the
Oh,
podcast.
you should look back on it. You should look back on it and review it.
I think it's like a brief intro to me and why you should care.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
Can you pull it up on your computer? We could talk about it, but yeah.
Should we do a commentary of it?
That's actually
TJ, bro,
hilarious.
I remember just, bro, I love that. DuckDuckGo. That's unfiltered, right? Look at that. Dang, look at that.
Look at that spacey background.
Bro, I love thinking about space, man.
I wonder if this will...
Looking up.
Just
Just looking up. It's crazy. Just looking up and just thinking about that as well.
Wild, yeah.
A brief intro to me. So, T, you can put up what you're looking online while people are watching?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll play sound, though. But I can honestly just put the audio in later if I want to. I don't know. Let's do a full commentary. I want you guys to do most of the talking here. Yeah, this is the TJ Martino YouTube page. Follow me, subscribe. Look at all these amazing vids.
TJ, you get the thumbnail game.
TT.
I want to get roasted.
Those are good thumbnails.
Nah, I'm working on it.
Catch the eye.
Where you see the thumbnails?
They're the pictures.
The pictures
Oh.
above the words.
Here we go.
Okay,
Here it is. I
gotcha.
found it.
I didn't know.
Did a
what
review
thumbnails
for
were.
Lion King. Forgot about that one.
Was that the one that just came out?
I like the
Not
look.
just, but
Was that good?
Oh
like
yeah, we could talk about that. I didn't know how I
we can
felt
talk
about that. I don't know how I felt about that.
We've done a lot of movies.
you didn't like it?
Been talking about a lot.
I don't know, bro. I feel like they overdid it. Like I feel like they
That's
like
every-
emphasized
that's every remake.
even extreme though.
What got lined up?
We're gonna start it over.
Hey, listen.
Everybody.
This is the beginning.
TJ.
This is the beginning of TJ
First
Martino
inaugural
podcast.
episode of the TJ Martino podcast.
Look at that. That's a good thumbnail.
Are you nervous?
Kind of going to be an extension.
Not really.
Not really.
How many takes did the first published take?
It
Be
took
honest.
it took me like 3 or 4 takes to just
Respect.
start off. But as soon as
Yeah.
I got going, I was like, I'm going. I
You
mean,
gotta
only
just
was a 10-minute
talk, huh?
Podcast, so.
Yeah.
Maybe if this ever gets traction, I
I've listened. To
can start out small and build my way up. You know how we do it here in America.
You know how we do it here in America.
Land of the free, baby. Come on.
It's going to be pretty short. I just kind of wanted to...
Stitcher. What's
Is this in
Stitcher?
Columbus?
This is just a podcast audio service.
Is this in Columbus, TJ?
Yeah, this was at the OSU studio
Gotcha.
that was included in tuition.
Ooh,
Oh, that's nice.
for the free?
Yeah.
Are you paying for school?
See me on my YouTube channel
Yeah.
or social media, or you just saw me walking down the street, whatever. I've already found this podcast. Thank you.
Did you advertise around Columbus at all? Like just like put like pictures up or posters, not like posters, but like just printable paper up.
No, I did not do that. No. I probably should have.
I mean, just like here and there, maybe
Should
not
buy
like all
billboard
over.
space.
Yeah. Is that a Mullen picture or college?
No college. This was just a picture I got.
Fraternity?
You know, just a LinkedIn kind of picture.
Faded.
Faded.
How much did you weigh there?
It's definitely a struggle, but that's usually something I like to do.
Jeez, I can't believe as many people have listened to this as they have.
Pretty much everything.
Oh, bro, this makes me
It's
down
so
all the
ridiculous.
time.
Definitely.
Is it what's wrong with this? Is it
No,
just,
no, it's good.
No, I just want to
it'll be
fix
good.
it. Yeah, we just gotta tighten it. You good?
One that stuff is on my YouTube channel.
Jeez.
How many subs have you still been running YouTube like you have?
Yeah, I've been uploading this to YouTube.
How many subscribers do you have?
I'm not ready to disclose that yet.
I subscribe. That's for damn sure.
I did too.
Episode 1, man. Damn, you got the TJ Martino.
You got all the social.
You got
Yeah.
you got the
I got 'em
social.
I got them all, yeah. Look at this.
Oh, you didn't do a video? Do your first video one.
I did. There was no camera in there, dude.
I know. No, do your first video one though. I know you've done a video.
Oh.
Just watch it for like a minute.
Okay, yeah. I'm done with this anyway.
Yeah, I thought this was the video the whole
You mute
time.
it, yeah. Yeah, we were not gonna watch that whole thing. But
We could cut that whole thing.
no, I kind of want to keep it, bro. You want to see the first video one?
It's so slow. It's so slow.
Yeah, it's slow because it's doing a bunch of
It's
stuff.
like yeah. Ain't got no
Gotta do what you
bandwidth.
gotta do, man.
Ooh, they.
What's been your favorite one?
Ugh.
What do you think? What do you think was the best
There
one?
you
TJ?
go.
My favorite
Struggle.
one?
Top of your head.
Oh, go
best
down.
best topic. Maybe not the best production and everything.
I don't know, man. There's been a lot of good topics.
Yeah, you have talked about some good stuff.
I liked this Pope one. I liked this PG Suttonfeld
Dude,
one.
you
'cause
remember
this
when
was
we
a,
saw
this
the
was a
Pope?
local.
Do
This
you
was
remember?
local news.
Do
And
you remember?
Speaking of local news,
We saw the Pope, bro, in our senior class trip.
Oh, that's crazy.
we saw
did
the
see the
Pope.
Pope.
Yeah.
yo, we saw the Pope.
I said, dang, there he is. I said, there you go.
I remember Griffin Hill's
Yeah,
post of him.
does-
Dude, what?
That's probably weird.
Dude, he
It
literally.
was very
Does he
like
do that
kinda
every
eerie.
day?
No.
no, just one day during the week. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He would go on the Pope mobile with the top down and that thing, just jamming out, having his boys with him.
Dude, I remember I had
Having
it
a
on my
time.
old phone,
Hymns.
bro. I had a
Probably a
selfie.
cigar in hand.
Oh.
His shit looks like a championship parade. For real, every day.
Yeah.
When we went there, it looked like a
So
the
many
Cavs-
people,
it looked
bro.
like the
We
Cavs
sat
were
there for
going through it,
so
yeah.
long. Was that the morning that we drank early? Remember at like 12 o'clock, we went to the bar with the two daughters that owned that small bar?
Oh, in Rome, yeah, they were Swiss girls,
Oh,
and they owned that bar, and man, they were lovely, and we were talking them up for sure. But I remember going to the bar, and
Man.
I remember going to that bar and seeing a bunch of kids from our high school buying. They were buying shots of Jack Daniels at that bar,
bro.
and literally, I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, literally, like you're buying it. That is imported liquor here.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if you're honest.
It's like more expensive there.
It's imported liquor. Like, I'm like, why don't you drink the local stuff? You know, the Roman beer.
Dude, I just remember getting so tanked in the middle of the day.
Dude, there it was the
It was
best too. You could
absurd.
walk around with a beer. Like I remember just
Yes.
like drinking the beer, and they're like, I'm like, we got to get back and meet with everybody, and they're like, well, you can just take that with you, and I'm like, really? And the guy working at the sandwich place,
Really?
the panini shop, was
Dude,
like,
you
he
could
was
walk
like, really?
around with
Oh
beer.
no, I know. Yeah.
It
I was like,
a lot of
really? And he was like,
unbelievable.
yeah, just take it. He's like, there's no open carry law here.
You know, in Mississippi, you can drink and drive. Yep.
At the same time,
At the same time, as long as you're under the illegal limit, you're allowed to drink and drive.
what is the legal limit there? Is it
I think it's the same.
0.08?
0.08. Yeah.
Point oh, yeah.
I feel like that's like U.S. standard probably.
Yeah,
It definitely is.
definitely
Yeah.
is.
I don't think that changes by
What
state.
is that like? Is that 4 drinks? Is 0.08?
No, I think it's like 2.
No,
Yeah,
that's like-
2.
yeah,
I think my
I thought
dad
each-
tells me it's 2. My
I
dad
thought
says
each drink
it's
was
2. Yeah,
was
for
like
sure.
0.02.
2.
If you look at a graph, it'll like for me like 185,
Yeah.
6'3". It doesn't really change, but being a girl or a guy does. And if you're like a guy, 185, like 6'3", whatever, it'll be like 2 drinks max before you're like probably gonna blow over the limit.
Really?
Yeah,
Probably
it'll
Yeah.
it picks up quick.
True.
That's okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no for
You
sure.
weigh 185 pounds, Joe?
I weighed 200 end of
Damn,
junior
bro, you're
year.
a middleweight. You should fight Adesanya tonight, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Actually, he's
that'll
not a
turn up
middleweight
well.
right now.
Yeah, bro.
What does he weigh? Like 190?
He's at 200 right now because he
200?
went up in weight.
Is that tonight?
That is tonight, yeah.
Is it right now?
No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the main card, right?
Can we
No. It'll be
Nah,
no.
later.
It's
it's
later.
later. We're going out.
Yeah, you guys are going.
Oh yeah, bro. We gotta hit the town.
Anyway.
Anyway, man, yeah. You got the news up here.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah,
you
so
got-
what I was saying
you
earlier-
got- You got work tomorrow?
What?
You got work tomorrow?
Yes.
7 days a week?
5.
Respect that.
5 days,
We're
man.
gonna have to cut this.
I respect that. I respect that, bro.
Anyway, we were talking about local news. And what better local news than this? Who sent this article? American Airlines
me.
reports UFO while flying over New Mexico.
And it
Fire.
departed from Cincinnati, the flight.
So you want to explain it?
I've heard a bunch of different, I guess you could say like, what's the word, perspectives on it. But basically, I guess the commercial airliners, the pilots were in their plane, and I might botch this, but they were, they're flying, and I guess they reportedly saw, to their perspective, and I think some of them may have military training,
Bro.
they thought it was some type of like aerial missile because of the speed and everything that it was moving. And then I guess when the people on the ground in the tower had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, there's witnesses. I don't know if there's other witnesses besides the pilot and the co-pilot, but I do know that you can read in this what they said. They said like what we saw like was definitely not a plane, and obviously we're going to know if there's a missile aerial in the sky. Yeah, it says right there.
Yeah, here we go. Here's a quote. Do you
Yeah.
have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us, said the pilot said.
And then he said, and so I heard an article that was talking about how I guess this pilot right here didn't really want to say it over the air, that he thought it was some type of, he's basically preferencing that it is some type of like alien or UFO aircraft. He
Yeah, a
doesn't-
long cylindrical object.
Yes, exactly.
So this is the flight that I've taken to junior college. This
Where's
is the
it
flight
go?
I've taken to junior college. Bobby, you actually took this same flight.
Oh, to
Yeah,
New
I
Mexico.
went and saw it. Yeah.
No, not the Mexico.
New Mexico.
Arizona.
Oh, I thought it was going to New
Well,
Mexico.
you got to go over to New Mexico to get to Arizona. Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay.
A little geography.
Here's the.
I did take geography in junior college though.
Attaboy.
Hey, listen.
Whoa.
Listen.
Wait, restart it, TJ.
Yeah, like. Get your shit.
Whatever. I'll play it over.
Cut that part, bro.
I can't.
You cut it when you.
What are you?
Dude, you were playing that loud. I couldn't hear it. I kept thinking I could hear it, but
Whatever,
it just
who
wouldn't play
cares?
through the.
You'll hear it
headphones.
when you watch back.
But yeah, I mean, what are we on? Like, this is the 10,000th time we've heard of something like this. Maybe not this specific, but I mean, in terms of like UFO.
I weirdly want to be like, I want to be a part of an experience like this, just to like say like I've seen it, like
Yeah,
like
but then-
Baker?
like
Baker
the-
Mayfield
like,
saw
yeah,
it.
I saw that.
just to like have my own opinion about it. I think it would be pretty cool,
What
just
was
so I could
Baker's
weigh in.
tweet about it?
He was talking about him and his girlfriend like saw something.
Because they were in Michigan.
But also on the other end, would you want to just endlessly have to prove?
No, because I wouldn't.
what I mean?
I wouldn't overly try.
Yeah, I
to,
see,
I
yes.
wouldn't overly try to pursue
Yes.
explaining it.
That's the only bad part. You're gonna have
Yeah, here we go.
constant people doubting you.
I wouldn't really care.
Almost 100%. Em and I just saw a UFO drop straight out of the sky on our way home from dinner. We stopped and looked at each other and asked if either of us saw it. Very bright ball of light going straight out of the sky towards Lake Travis.
that in
Anyone
Michigan?
else witness this?
Wait, what are the replies? Are they saying yes or no?
replies.
I want to see if anyone saw it.
big
I mean,
time,
everyone's
yes.
like, "Oh yeah, I saw that too."
Oh shit!
Big dog, no such thing as aliens.
Big
Fallen
dog.
angels and angels
Oh,
are real.
the Colin Coward reaction.
Dude,
Yeah, the Colin Coward clip was funny about it.
I don't know. What do you guys think? If there's this many alien sightings,
yes.
why would they not make themselves? If this many people have seen aliens, right? Like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
they just make it?
That's my opinion.
or
I
whatever.
feel like eventually we're gonna get one of those days where they're just gonna come out and be like, "Yo, we've been here the whole time."
Yeah, why wouldn't alien? Like, if this many people think that they've seen aliens, why wouldn't they just make themselves known?
Exactly. They're not. I
If you're
don't.
playing it that loose,
I don't
that
think
people
they
see
really
you-
care.
I
I think they just
could-
check back in.
Or
and
what are
check
they?
back
Like,
out.
why would they be checking in?
Why would they check?
If they need nothing from us and there's nothing to.
Well, so I don't know. I think I heard this probably through Joe Rogan, man.
I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this.
But they first started appearing when like nuclear weapons started to be tested.
Is
Yeah,
that the first time they appeared to the first?
That's
because
what they said.
Recorded,
That's
yeah,
around
I
the same
guess,
time
like,
that recording was like
yeah, I
accessible
guess.
to
Yes.
normal people. So you
True.
know, you're
So I
talking
guess I
like
meant
1950s.
yeah.
So it's I mean
Exactly, because
60s,
you know all
so-
the theories of like the pyramids and
Oh, yeah.
Egypt's being affected.
but that's possible. Those pyramids could have been made by
like Aztecs even had drawings about possible saucers. I mean, I like to believe it, but yeah.
My perception of it completely changed, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Bob Lazar is telling the truth or not, but
right.
as far as I can tell, like from whatever he's saying, if there's some advanced propulsion, I think we're a lot further into this than we think we are.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I think they're definitely, because look at this. There's this came out a month ago. Is an article from the Daily Mail, and they said that the CIA just they released a big dossier right here. I think there's 3,000 pages of documents on the UFOs. This came out a month ago.
Is this?
There's a bunch of these documents.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, here's an image of some flying saucers.
Okay, that's very
so
weird.
sick.
That this is like
especially when you look at a
Look at the car. Look at the cars, bro. That's so cool.
Did you hear they were trying to include that into the COVID bill? The COVID bill.
Yes.
They were
Didn't
going to
they
try
read
to.
all
So
of it? Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously various ways politicians try to get their way, but one of those ways is like putting something into an essential bill or essential package.
Slip them in.
Slip them in there. So you want this done. You want COVID to start going away. You're going to need to do this. And one of them was releasing, I don't know how many pages it was, but just hundreds of documents on various like spacecraft and other things that
UFOs
that people don't know about. I don't know if that got passed or not.
I don't know. I think it did, because I think this was part of
that.
Because,
okay.
Yeah, because I think they're going to start releasing more of these.
Does that say 1962 up there?
52.
This is 1952.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. That's
You
a
got
picture
4
from
saucers
1952.
here.
Man.
So cool.
Treasure trove, nearly
Why
unsealed
has this
documents.
been out of the public's view for, what is that, 50, 60, 68, 66, 70 years?
70 years. Yeah.
Like, what? Why now?
Yeah.
I understand why now because of the bill and the logistics behind it, but why now? Like,
I think maybe they're getting to the point where like we're getting so far with it that they're like we can't keep it a secret
there's
anymore. If we want to
overwhelming-
expand our research, we need to include our population.
You're right. That makes
sense. And I feel like there was the Israeli guy that he worked in the you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He basically this guy who worked in the Israeli military. He basically I guess worked in like the UFOs unit.
right.
And basically, he was saying that there's this galactic federation up in space, and basically, like
that's a fun theory.
when Donald Trump was president, he was threatening to, or not threatening, but he was planning to, tell the public about it. And
Is this true or speculation?
this is what the guy said.
Okay,
This is what he
gotcha.
said. And he said that basically the aliens and the Federation were like, Trump, do not tell the people yet. They're not ready yet.
Yeah.
And basically, like, he was like, okay. And like, basically there's this federation with all these, different beings that I guess, kind of like, you'd see in Halo or Star Wars or whatever.
That sounds exactly like Star Wars, what you just said.
Yeah.
Exactly like Star Wars.
You know what's interesting about that too is whenever like for this Israeli guy or Bob Lazar comes out, like with things in the world, like just when big discussions are had, right? There's usually more than one person in the room backing up a point so that it can't be twisted later.
Right.
It's interesting when these things have come out. There's never been more than one person, right? When the Bob Lazar thing came out, he tried to get other people on board that were there, and everyone was like, "No, I don't want to be a part of it."
We're not
So
doing that.
It will be interesting to see the first time when something like this comes out and 2 credible sources together
Back each other up.
because then you can't dismiss it as easily. Like, people
Exactly.
say, "Oh, Bob Lazar's a kook." This Israeli guy, he was suffering from all kinds of brain at the end of his life. But when I don't know, it's
funny. He said his reason for telling it now is he's like, I've retired, I'm done. He's like, I got nothing to hide at this point. I'm just gonna, tell the world what I've seen.
Imagine that weight on your chest your whole
And I mean,
life.
I feel like the government's been doing this stuff for a long time, hiding this
50s.
UFO. Yeah, like this is from the 50s.
And
Like,
what,
imagine
we're gonna
what
act
else they're
it
still
started,
hiding.
Yeah, it started there. No way.
Like, and you can go deep down the rabbit hole with a lot of the stuff that, like, I've done some reading about Operation High Jump and the stuff they were doing after World War II and
bringing all the Nazis
down in Antarctica.
Bringing like the whole. I mean, geez, not to
Or
focus too much on movies or documentaries people might not have seen because that's it's not very as interesting to people. But
no, that's a recommendation.
yeah, but I mean, you got to check out the Devil Next Door documentary.
Oh, you told me about that.
Netflix.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
gosh, just horrifying.
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
those people did.
Yeah, I guess just from an overhead. Should I just give an overhead?
Yeah, go ahead. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it. I mean,
Oh,
TJ,
dude,
I
you
highly
gotta see
recommend whoever's listening.
Is it a documentary?
documentary on?
I think it's 5 episodes, 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 episodes. A couple are an hour, other ones like 45 minutes. Just going over. So this is probably 40 years after World War II, right? So it's hard for us to think about it now because it's so far out. Everyone that was involved with that stuff is probably
Just about
passed
that.
away at this
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
but in that time, 1986 or 7, whenever this came out, basically there were people in Israel after World War II and the Holocaust that were Nazi hunters, for lack of better words, right? So for the Nazis that got out of there, they were tracking them down. Where are these people going, right? But after World War II ended, Germans scattered out of there, immigrated to different countries.
Colombia,
Exactly.
all
The
those-
United
yeah,
States,
United
huge
States.
in the United States.
Argentina was very big too.
Very
Yeah,
big,
Operation
too.
Paperclip.
Yeah,
They brought
absolutely. Yeah, they
that's
brought-
when they brought the scientist over from.
Von whatever. Yeah, but look up his
yeah.
name as well, please. But yeah. So basically, there's these people who were responsible for finding these Nazis that got away, right? And then they had no repercussions for the awful things that they had done.
Right.
So basically, with some documents being released, a lot of it had to do with the Berlin Wall coming down and Soviet Russia being, that being over and people having access to these things. They found this guy in Cleveland, right, in the 80s.
I didn't know he was from Cleveland.
From
or in
Cleveland, Ohio,
Cleveland.
working at the Ford plant as a
Wow.
yeah. So he's working in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Ford plant, like on the operations floor, whatever, right? Just a factory worker,
Blending in.
Yeah, just blending
Blending in.
exactly. And basically, what comes out of this is that he is this notorious death camp, the executioner. At death camps. He's Ivan the Terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so then he gets tried, and the thing is that it happens so quick, right? In the U.S., they quickly are like, you know what? We are deporting this dude.
Yep.
Send him to
Deported him.
Israel, right?
Oh, God.
So, right, to stand trial in Israel at the time,
As
the
a
punishment
criminal,
for that
yeah,
is
death.
being hung by the net.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's being hung.
Yeah,
so,
execution. Yeah.
so he goes to Israel, right, and stands this trial. And obviously, I'm not going to give any of it away, but the entire thing, it picks up and just more and more evidence comes in that he really, and they bring, because at that time people were still alive, they bring in these Jewish survivors from the Holocaust, and they're in the courtroom looking at this guy like, I remember you, like what, like you're
personal
a monster,
accounts,
like you
bro.
murder, like just yeah.
And you can tell
It's
that
heavy.
Yeah, and these people are crying.
Very
Like
sincere.
the stuff he's accused of is beyond like belief. You know what I mean?
It's terrible.
I
It's actually
think
terrible.
to end, I think the most shocking thing of that whole documentary, Tom, I remember I told you about this, is one of the Jewish people who was a prisoner there, right? Like he said, he was talking to another one of the Nazis working there, and said, like, when people find out about this, like, you are going to be in,
Yeah.
And the Nazi looked at him and was like, no one's ever going to believe you when you say what happened here. And that's just like, wow, because
Because he knows.
it's like,
that
wow,
it's
they understood
so
what they
inhumane,
did. Yeah, it wasn't like they tried to say
They knew.
with serial killers and
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, he was sick and he didn't know,
Right.
he was insane and he had a bug in his head. But like these guys, that was the most shocking part of it. They knew what they were doing and they were like, yeah, no one's going to believe it.
And they thought I think a lot of it was they thought they could defend themselves by just saying, I'm following orders.
And
Yeah.
that's
You know,
we're
And that
not,
was what
we're
the
not
Nuremberg
doing
trials
that.
proved,
Yeah.
was like that it was
Yeah.
like they were saying, no, that's not good enough. Like you're committing crimes against humanity.
Yes,
Like, that's,
multiple on end,
you know,
over.
you've destroyed the moral and ethical,
Yeah.
They killed like a big
argument.
chunk population of one of the most populous or populated religions.
And they said this dude killed over 10,000 himself.
Like himself. Yeah,
I think that's the
himself.
lowest.
It was like if people wouldn't
Exactly.
get into like a gas
Gas
chamber,
chamber
he'd kill
without
them. If
seeing
they
them.
like survived out of it, he would like take a sword and get, like he was. So then
Yeah.
basically it goes around the point too of not only just if you were accused of being this Ivan the Terrible, right, and you did these awful things, but it plays into if you had any involvement, you need to have there needs to be repercussions. It doesn't matter if
yeah.
you were just if you were the front desk guy, that I mean, like no, but you were a part of it, and
You were a
there
part of
needs
it.
to be repercussions for what you did.
right.
So,
You knew what you were doing.
You knew what you were a part of, right?
Right.
And yeah, so
But that's kind of why it's interesting. Like I was saying with Operation Paperclip is like that they literally just grabbed a lot of these Nazi scientists and people and brought them to the U.S. and
Warner von
integrated
Braun,
them
right?
in. But also like they would probably there was always the rumors that they fled down to South America, and then from there to Antarctica and wherever. But
And Hitler was in South America. Yeah, it's just
yeah,
it's
well,
all
that's
those,
you know.
I mean, it's
all
far-
speculation.
knows?
But
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to mention was like along the lines of Holocaust and all that. When I went to the Holocaust Museum and it's free.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Where was that?
Yeah,
It's in DC. They
Oh, okay.
want you to see it. You don't.
Oh, of course,
It's
yeah.
free. Yeah. So they're like, we want you to see how big of an impact this had on. I mean, the world in general, but of course the Jewish and Polish. Well, two different things. But going in there, you walk through and they have this little section that I think like one shoe represents 1,000 or 100 killed Jewish people, and there are just this whole vicinity is just filled with shoes, and a lot of them are actually from the people. I was 12 or 13, and my dad like asked me, "Are you sure you want to go in here? Like this is heavy stuff." And I was like, "Yeah." Like I was 12 or 13, and I'm walking through, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be here right now. Like,
Yeah.
Remember
That's
too,
very
we went
heavy
to
stuff.
Dachau. We went to Dachau, the concentration
That's
camp.
right. We
Wow.
did. Yeah.
Wow.
We did. In Germany.
Krakow, that's in Poland. That's
It's
Dachau.
Dachau.
It's in
Dachau.
Germany.
Germany. It's,
Gotcha.
Munich.
Yeah, it's like what, a couple hours outside of Munich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dark,
all,
ominous
yeah.
place, man. You walk in there, you can feel the.
Dude.
I guess for both of you guys, so you two who saw Dachau and Joe for the Holocaust Museum, what were both of your guys' big takeaway from that? What was your
The magnitude.
Yeah.
The magnitude. I mean, also like when you're young, you don't really see how much these things affect. Like you're just told about it. Obviously, we have never experienced anything within that realm. But when you walk through, you see a firsthand picture. There's a whole museum dedicated to people that were savagely killed. And I mean, it's just I liked it. I mean, I was young and it was a little much, but I mean, I think that's kind of what it needs to be. It needs to be a little much. You need to like know those people, what they went through.
Right.
Like the horrible, horrible situation. Let alone if you weren't even murdered. You were being murdered by being starved or worked to death.
Right.
So I don't know. It definitely like opened my eyes at a young age. Being
Yeah, you really get a grasp of how like huge and yet how like discreet they were able to make this operation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the fact that a lot of the people that lived there just either didn't know what was happening or turned a blind eye to it. It's just it's crazy.
And you have
we walked through like the officers' buildings. We walked through where all the prisoners stayed. We walked through like where they slept, and it was just
as bad as that is. That's
terrible.
a treat. That's a treat for you guys to be able to do that. It's very
and
cool.
it was
bad,
it was a blessing to see. It was,
it's a
man.
blessing.
It was sobering.
It was neat. I liked a lot of because they had a lot of like the old tables and desks that were used.
They didn't touch it. They didn't touch it at all.
Yeah, everything was so well preserved. And they showed like the little 20-minute documentary film that they had. Yeah, I mean it was pretty fascinating stuff.
I just did a little Googling here, just to like put some like numbers together, and I finally found a comparison here. Like just for the number of Jewish people that were killed in that would be the equivalent to in 2020 the entire state of Maryland just being like at
It's
one
being
point.
killed.
There's everybody at this, like just that entire state, everyone there. Like that's just
And yeah,
an inconceivable amount
Yes,
of people.
the
You know what I mean?
number-
Like
the
6
number-
million people. Like,
The number multiplies over years. Like that
That's
number
unreal.
becomes like it's a proportion. It's not a set number. You know what I mean? So when you proportionalize it to what that would be today, you're like,
no, I was just saying, like,
Yeah.
there were 6 million
Yes.
Jewish people, and there's 6 million people in
People in
Maryland right
Maryland,
now.
yeah.
So it's like, it's just say if in a number of couple years, everyone in Maryland just
How many people that live in Maryland live in Baltimore, do you think?
I would say about 25%. I would say
Is
Baltimore's a big
DC
city.
like when they're looking at
No.
population? Is DC its own?
Yeah, it's its own
DC
city.
is right in between
It's its own-
Maryland and
I know
Virginia.
it, but is
Yeah.
is its population incled in Virginia or
Nope.
Maryland, or is it its own
It's
thing?
its own
Own
thing. It's its own
yeah.
thing, yeah.
I've never
So it's
understood
not
that. But
there,
okay,
yeah.
All right, I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
go ahead and do it.
I guess
Just
we
try not
could,
to knock anything over.
How do you play this? Have you ever had any guests go to the bathroom? Do you just cut it when they
It
say?
doesn't matter.
I mean,
no, just let it go.
You've seen people on Rogan like get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it is what it is. The show must go on.
So what do you got here?
So we got some other. Yeah, let's get back to the UFO discussion here.
Yeah, no.
Man, I love thinking about it. I was down in Miami with Steele. I think you guys know Steele for sure. And just the sky was so clear, and you got to see really all the stars and everything that shine in the sky. And it's eerie to think about because it's an actual possibility. I mean, it's true. Like it's proven. They released documented. It's all true. it happens, and there's
What's
things
true,
out there,
what's
aliens.
out,
And it's crazy because they played
It's
it off
not a
for so
theory anymore,
long. They played it off for so long. That's just nothing.
Yeah,
Oh, don't look over here. It's just
it's
a bunch of
true,
crap.
and that's
it's
what's
a conspiracy
so.
theory. Like
So now we have to have a theory about how, not what,
What do you mean how?
because how are they there? How are they that smart? Like, who are they? Not what anymore, because we already know that it exists.
So why would they be looking at us, right? So I mean, we know there's nothing else in our
Solar system.
In our solar system,
Yeah,
excuse me.
yeah.
Yeah, in our solar system, we know there's nothing else in the solar system, at least, right? So we can't get outside of that. Yeah. So what would, if there were, beings that are able to move across solar systems or possibly galaxies?
Yeah.
What would be their interest with us? We'd be way far down on the.
I'm on your page.
Of evolution,
Yeah,
right?
I
What would they?
agree
Why would they
very
be looking
much
at us?
so.
Here's
If
the thing.
it was for resources, they would just
Take
you
the
know,
resources.
just obliterate us. Yeah, just take
Here's
all
the
of
thing.
it. So
They can, if let's just act like they are out there, and I mean I know they are, but interacting.
Right.
If they wanted to do anything, they could. If they wanted to be seen, they could. If they wanted to be hidden, they could.
Yeah.
At least this is all my perspective. So like, why are we getting little tidbits? Why is it not like concrete or not? I feel like if they want to be seen, they'll be seen. If they don't, then they don't. But then again, we're also thinking in like human logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how are they crashing? Like, there's the
Yes.
stories like there's UFOs that are in Area 51 and they have them in these bunkers. Like, how are they crashing these things? And just,
Yeah.
like, come on, I mean, you know what I mean? I just feel like that's so.
I think that whole thing behind something that blew my mind about the Lazar tapes and everything, or the
did you watch
JRE.
that documentary on
Yeah.
Netflix?
So like the part of that, I didn't even think of how to change propulsion, how much different that, you know what I mean?
Concept of gravity
Like my
just
brain
totally
doesn't
gets flipped
think
on
like
its
that.
head.
Yeah,
Doesn't
like they're
process
saying.
that. I agree.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
either.
So
I don't
we
even
think
know.
of just rocket thrust. That's as far as we go. But what they're saying is there was some unknown element or whatever that for somehow interacted with maybe I guess our atmosphere and created some advanced propulsion.
Yeah,
And he's saying it could just
from my understanding, you're onto it. It's because when you technically think of gravity, you're thinking
Down.
Fourth gravity, FG is down. It's
Mm-hmm.
always down. And now with what Bob Lazar's documentary and what he was explaining was essentially that the element 115, I think it's what it's called.
Yes.
Which is actually the element they used to bring the zombies alive. And
That's yes. That's all. Yeah, I caught on to that.
Anyway,
Yep, I caught that.
It's a good call.
so yeah, I guess they use element 115 and they use it to, I guess, manipulate gravity.
Yeah.
To
Propel. Yes, exactly. And
Instead
they're
of
using
to
instead of
push down.
yes, exactly, exactly.
So
It's a propulsion system.
You know what was a great analogy that Bob Lazar made in that, in terms of because he was talking about his experience working with this aircraft that had these weird gravity dimensions. Yeah. A great analogy he used was saying well, what if you dropped a core of a hydrogen bomb, whatever, in Victorian era times, and just you just rolled at these people hey, figure out what's going on.
Okay.
They would be they would
have no
open
idea.
things up and gas comes
They
out.
could
they're
start.
dead. Yeah.
They would have nowhere to start.
Did anyone? I could be wrong on this. Did anyone die during the? Did he mention that any injuries or anything happened?
I've ever
with,
heard of a death.
Okay,
I don't remember.
That's a good. I mean, it's a good question.
It is a good question. You're right.
Any injuries or deaths associated with? But then again, would that be released? No.
No way.
They put that right under the carpet.
Yeah. Right.
Give that dude $10 million to never talk.
Yeah, here we go. Here's some more images. There's a UFO right there. Wow. There's another one.
See, I kind of when I hear when someone just says when Baker Mayfield just tweets something out of course, obviously when you say almost 100%,
it says plus 31
my skepticism's
pictures.
through the roof. I'm just like,
Absolutely.
dude, I've seen things and I'm like, what is that? And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, oh, that was a plane, or oh, that was whatever.
Yeah.
99% of the time, there's an explanation for what you saw.
Bunch of documents here. Oh wow. Oh, there's only one conclusion that may be drawn. The Talon crew dealt with what we call a UFO. The fact that we now have a consistent and detailed picture of the transformation of the unidentified flying object is especially important.
Why does this have to do with Moscow? They're just telling them to send their data to Moscow.
Space race.
Space race.
Maybe it wasn't as much of a race as we wanted to think.
What's the general opinion on I think we all know it was real.
The moon landing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually believe we've done more than the moon landing.
Really?
Oh, that's an interesting.
TJ just flipped that on me.
Yeah,
He's
wow.
like,
Okay.
What? You think we landed what? What else we?
I don't know. I think maybe we have more on the moon than
people think.
yeah.
TJ, could you actually dial
Not
this up?
necessarily a base, but like I think we
Yeah,
have like
dial it
technology implanted in the moon that like on the dark side of the moon that we don't, that we can't see here.
It's a good
When
album.
was
Or maybe
the,
it's so far away that we can't see it too with the human eye. I don't know.
when was the last moon landing? Well,
I think it was the 90s.
Yeah, I think it was in like the 80s or 90s.
I can look that up.
Yeah, well, let me look. Yeah,
That's, I
let me
think that's
look
a
that
good,
up.
yeah. Look, like check out when that was.
Which is always people
Because it
always
was like why did people go there in the
In the
60s and then they just like never
never
really
go
happened
back.
again? Like,
Yeah,
what?
I think it's because like you're kind of getting what you're looking at, just a
Yeah.
giant
It's just
rock.
a bunch of
Yeah, how much is there to
moon
really-
How
cheese.
much is there? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Good point.
But
Say-
there's
say
also the
US.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Here we go.
which
List
is a
of
great
missions
album,
to
by the way.
moon.
Great album. Yeah,
Great
yeah,
album.
good,
But
good call.
they're the Dark Side is just like I think it's basically undiscoverable just because of the context of getting there. You're going to be on a point that's like negative whatever 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
So I don't really
Oh.
know if they've done as much as they want to.
So,
Is that?
So
oh,
69,
wait, that's the
That's the
first one.
first
Okay, we got it
69,
on
right?
here, maybe.
are these so successful?
and this is also including China, Russia. I think that's Iran. No, that's
When was
India.
the last lunar mission?
These are moon landings.
Or orbit.
Yeah, look up.
Or
I'm
like-
trying to
like
find if this one is
devices.
just landing
Yeah, I'm trying to.
missions to the moon.
Damn, bro. I don't. If you were offered to go to the moon, would you take it?
No.
Yeah.
I would not.
I don't know.
would not.
I mean, you got to give me
I would
like
totally do it.
I don't
would
think I
totally
have
context.
the-
Like, am I going to have fun or am I going to do like
Well, like, what are you doing on the moon? You know.
I don't know?
What's going on?
both.
That's
Have
why
fun,
that's-
man.
Hey, okay.
You gotta
it's
set a
it's
basketball
it's a
hoop
resort. It's a resort on the moon, though.
You got to set a basketball hoop up.
Hell
in
yeah.
that context. Yeah. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know.
I'll do that.
I feel like a lot more could go wrong than go right. You know what I mean?
No, I think one thing could go wrong and you're just pieced.
But yeah, bro. Like
That's
yeah.
like driving a car. One thing can go wrong.
I mean, but
It's a pretty big thing when you're in like a spaceship. You know?
Yeah.
Like it just blows up. Like it's like pretty.
They got a bunch of ripped
I'm talking about space. I mean, I think one of the craziest movies that opened my mind to space was Interstellar.
Oh
God,
And
yeah.
not even to be like
Whoa,
not
check
even
this one
not
Movie's
even to be
ahead
corny,
of
but
its
like
time,
what does that
for
say?
sure.
With a possible sighting at the Wright-Patterson Air Base in Ohio. That's like,
Everything leads
30
back to
minutes from
Ohio.
Like Dayton.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Is that Dayton?
I did not know that.
yeah, that's Hangar 9. That's Hangar 18.
Oh, TJ's got
It's a big UFO place, actually.
really.
Yeah,
That's scab.
yeah, and this is one of the documents, I guess, probably reporting something from there. Yeah, Hangar 18 is like Area 51 of the Midwest.
Well, if we should keep our eyes out.
Yeah.
We're nearby right now.
Hey, I don't have anything.
We
But
might,
yeah,
we might get our own little baker,
Yeah.
our baker sighting tonight.
almost 100%.
We're all getting probed tonight, fellas.
First episode of South Park. What a classic.
That
yes, that was the first episode.
South Park too, genius show. I mean, like you
Genius.
can dismiss it as like crude humor, but like
Yep.
Did you see
Very
the
funny.
episode
And they're
of,
always like
Workaholics?
they're always up with the new. They're releasing that like the week it's hot.
Yeah.
The week a topic is hot, they're releasing it.
it's impressive too. They did like a segment on when the elections happened. I think it was like when McCain ran against Obama.
Yeah,
or
that
something
was
like that.
2000.
But it was like
Yeah.
they had like a 12-hour turnaround from the election results to make this episode tailored to.
and they
So those guys-
grind that out.
Yeah, I mean the
Trey
crew there,
Parker,
everything,
Matt Stone,
and they've been
believe.
doing this for like 24 years now.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of them? They were on acid at I think it was the Oscars.
Yeah, I
Both
know.
of
Yeah,
them.
It's
then
funny.
they dress up as
They're-
women.
They're
They
wearing
should-
dresses.
Yep. Trey dressed up. They had dresses on.
Yeah, they're ballsy, man. They're funny.
Oh yeah, I mean you're making that show. I don't really expect
Yeah.
anything less.
Just nonsense.
Can those guys get canceled? No, that's the question.
No,
I think they're.
God, no.
They're too established.
Yeah,
No.
They're
so
too established by too many
Bro, they have
generations.
episodes about like schools being shot up, transphobic thing, all homophobic things,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Crack Baby Basketball.
Crack
remember that
Baby
one was very
Basketball
offensive, yeah.
Association, and
That
they're
is so bad.
they have just done it all. Like they're grandfathered in. That's a great
Yeah.
way to say
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
that's a great
They're
way.
grandfathered into cancel culture.
It's almost like if you just say that you, if you do so much, it's like then you can't be.
Then you-
it's almost weird. It's like you do enough bad stuff, you can't get
You
canceled.
can't.
You do a little bit of bad stuff, you're
You're
done. You're toast.
Yep.
This week, who went down this week? Amazon changing the logo.
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr.
Oh,
Potato Head.
well, I'm not
Now
happy to
that's
see that. I'm not happy to see that.
Dr. Seuss got this week
Dr.
too.
Seuss.
6
Oh,
of those books.
I want to
of
talk
those
about
books.
Mr. Potato Head because I don't understand why there in Toy Story there was a Mr. and Mrs.
Well, no, in merchandise or whatever, there was a Mr. and a Mrs. Not just
I don't
Toy Story.
understand. Yeah,
Well, there wasn't like an alternative gender representation.
They got rid of Aunt Jemima. They changed that to
That's some good
Which
cereal.
something milling company.
That makes a little bit more sense. Like
Yeah,
that and Uncle Ben.
That definitely had racial undertones.
Yeah,
Uncle
like
Ben,
that's-
yeah,
You're
exactly.
you're depicting like slave. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
You're not. So, yeah, I saw a tweet and someone was like, "Well, why don't we cancel Wendy? Like, why does she stay on there?" Like, I thought this was about race. It's just like,
Shut up.
just like, just please try to see outside of your own lens. Of, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Aunt Jemima. Some
Yeah.
good syrup.
It's a great series.
It's now called like the Park Milling
Yeah,
Company. Or something
yeah.
like that.
What is Uncle Ben say?
still
Those
good.
rices are great. The minute rice.
Uncle Ben's
those are-
rice
yeah.
is fire.
What are those now? Are they just called minute rices or?
Yeah, they
called
probably
Ben's.
rebranded.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I had to.
Ben's.
Ben's.
Just Ben's.
Um,
There's no more Uncle.
but yeah, I mean, I mean, what do you think should get changed next?
With what?
I don't want anything to be changed next.
What are you talking about? Oh, in terms of
Everybody-
What do
that.
you think is going to change?
That's
next?
a yeah.
All right,
What's on the chopping block?
Let's all try to think of one thing that I don't even know if
Are
we're
the
gonna be
Indians
able
done
to.
yet? Are they done?
They somehow are still
Cleveland
surviving.
Indians,
Oh.
the baseball team.
They are somehow
They announced they're changing, but they haven't
Okay.
announced a new name.
Washington football team.
Do you think
They're
that? Do you
done.
think that Dan Snyder is
Obviously.
just gonna like thumb his nose and be like, "We're gonna stay as the"? Because it is kind of like
Dan Snyder's
if you
a
do that for
scumbag.
more than 1 year, it's kind of
Yeah.
a like disrespect thing. Like
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah.
gonna stay as the
It's
football team.
yeah,
You know, He's
exactly.
just saying like, "Hey guys."
I heard they're gonna do the Washington Wolves,
I've heard that. I've heard
and
like
the
Red
whole
Tails
stadium's
and-
going. Oh,
That'd be
Wolves,
cool.
dude.
That would be
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
Washington Wolves.
yes, that's or
Kinda
maybe
dig
Red
that.
Wolves, but still,
Um,
the Bullets is another one.
Dude, I think the New York
because
Giants.
that was the basketball team.
the New York
Bullets.
Giants
Oh,
are on the
that's
chopping
right.
block.
New York
Oh, I know.
Giants.
It's offensive to little people.
Yeah.
TJ's on to something.
Yeah.
Hey.
It might be next.
They gotta go, man.
There's been more. I mean,
Hashtag fire the New York Giants.
Fire the New York Giants.
I mean,
Hey, the New York Jets, they gotta go too. They're offending the boats.
yeah. I mean, if Dr. Seuss can get canned, I think anyone's up for
Yeah, dude,
up for grabs.
Dr.
Dr.
Seuss.
Seuss.
Wasn't that the most like I don't know, but him
Green
and
eggs and ham is
Yeah,
offensive
right,
to
like
yellow
classic.
eggs.
Man, I miss those simple days of Dr. Seuss.
And
I
just
know.
like crude
Dr. Seuss Day at
comedy,
middle school was the best. Yeah.
It was awesome.
You
How does he
go to a
rhyme
different
like
circle
this?
Every time they read a different book.
I was just saying, like, you're sitting there, like, how does he rhyme like this?
Yeah, the man had bars, dude. He had bars for real, yeah.
Do you guys have it like a middle school or elementary school? They did. There was like a Dr. Seuss Day or whatever, and they gave us like green eggs during the thing.
Yeah,
They, like,
yeah, we did
it's
the
like
same
food.
thing. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's like food coloring. It's not.
Yeah, and they would
One
read
of
the book
those
while
days.
you would eat the green eggs. Yeah.
Fucking Sycamore boys over here
That
don't
is
have any.
whack.
Yeah, y'all
No,
got no culture.
Y'all
We
don't know. Yeah,
don't do
uncultured,
that
yeah.
over here.
Uncultured
It's a lack of
swine.
experience.
Well, none of our kids are gonna get to experience it. So
No.
yeah, they're
That's
not gonna be flexing Dr. Seuss like they used to,
You know,
man.
TJ, that's a big one I wanted to ask you too, as a guest on here. You were part of a fraternity in college. You know, a lot of speculation has gone around that by the time our generation is having children and they're at the age to be in college, that fraternities, just because of all the risk around it, might not be a thing. What do you think about that?
I think that's very possible, and I think Ohio State, my former school, was very proactive in trying.
They're
to get
gonna,
rid of
yep,
us.
I was gonna say,
We were
lead the
like a bad
charge.
cold for them, man. We were like the Kobe, man. We just hung around, and they were just like, yeah.
Just an itch they couldn't scratch. Huh?
No,
Yeah.
and I mean it was like all. I'm speaking on behalf of all of Greek life. I mean it was just they did not like the whole scene, the partying and the
It's
music and all of it. They just were not about that.
It's interesting. It's because it's so easy to point a finger to, but at least, I mean, obviously I can't speak
Yeah.
on any other college than the one that I attended, but at least for UC, and Joe went there as well, so he can probably attest to this too. But I mean, there was much worse stuff going on at the houses that weren't fraternity houses,
yeah.
right? Of drug use,
Yes.
violence, and things like that.
Yeah.
You hear about robberies and
Clifton
and
also-
assault and stuff. That wasn't going on at fraternity houses, but it's easy to point a finger.
Finger.
To, here's the big house
Yep.
where there might be, what I mean? It's a big house, lots of lights, lots of sound coming out of there,
Yeah.
big speakers like this. Well, what are they doing? You know
Probably
what I
some
mean?
are they doing
antics,
here?
yeah.
And yeah, there's obviously those terrible stories like at Pennsylvania,
Penn State, yeah.
Penn State when the kid died. I mean, terrible stuff. But yeah, and I don't
I mean,
think
yeah, those are that They're incidents.
They're incidents. Yeah. I mean, there's
You can't speak on behalf of all of Greek life by saying, "Oh yeah, one person died."
Yeah.
You know?
But
Yes.
I also think that in a
be
sense
looked
it
out
does.
in a
You were supposed to
professional way.
represent everybody. You know what I mean? In a sense, like if something happens in a scenario, like somebody needs to be held responsible, and I don't think it's
the
fair.
individuals.
That's true,
No,
but
that's absolutely right too. I mean, like, what are they gonna? Because Ray Rice hit a girl, they're gonna shut the NFL down?
That's
no,
right.
it's an individual, right? You can't.
Right.
So I definitely get what you're saying, Jay. But it's like it's tough because one bad egg can't ruin the whole.
Good analogy.
I mean, right? Like you gotta shut all that down because but
one green egg.
one green egg, one of Dr. Seuss's.
But one thing I was just talking about what the other day. Oh yeah, did you guys ever hear about the one with like the little another on the UFO topic, the little like tic tac like things that
Yes,
they're
the
talking?
tic-tac UFO,
What was
yeah.
that? Anything related to Lazar? Or is that all
Yes.
just like it is?
It is because of the way it
That
was
moved.
moving. Yeah,
Okay.
Because of how fast it was moving and you didn't see any exhaust.
Yes.
It makes you believe, it almost affirms Lazar's
Lazar's,
theory in
and
a
this
way,
is
yeah.
totally separate. These are not things that intertwine. Like in terms of
No, this
where
happened
they happen.
years after
Yes, exactly.
Lazar, yeah.
And that's like a military pilot's. I think they have videos of that.
Yeah.
But there's another one, or that same one. They were saying like it would go from about like 10,000 feet above sea level, and it would shoot down all the way to the bottom of or all the way right to sea level in a matter of seconds. And then at the same time, it would take off hundreds of miles in a direction because they have radar,
Right.
and then it just and then there's other ones that block your radar. It's just
Yeah.
I think it's also like the bouncing back up, right? Because things can fall, but it's like
but
when you shoot
going
back
up
like that,
takes a lot more energy than to go
right.
down,
So it's
and they're doing it quicker than sometimes going down.
yeah.
Which is a great example of like you can't really like say this is not something extraterrestrial because we do not have this technology as far as we know.
Yeah.
And then again, like what do we know?
It's a Tucker Carlson segment on it, but it'll do.
They owned it.
This is technically not Fox News put it out there. This is not a credible news source.
What is nowadays, honestly?
It would be really cool to have just an unbiased news source.
Yeah.
It would.
I-
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Wouldn't it? Is it too
and-
much to ask for?
and
Just
how
somebody
is
that tells it how it is,
The Morning Brew is actually not a bad. If you're looking for an email chain thing, they
There
send
it
you out
is.
emails in the morning, just what's going on in the
On
morning.
it.
I think this is the guy that saw
Yeah.
it, David Fravor.
Tic Tac,
You said
40
the
feet
Morning
long.
Brew,
With,
Bobby?
oh,
Yeah,
that's
there it is.
It's
Yeah,
a,
Yep.
that's it. Yeah,
You sign up for that one.
that's the Tic Tac, I think. Damn.
I mean, they're just.
And then that thing just zips off.
It just zipped off into the sunset, and they all just sat there speechless.
Yeah, and they were like, "What?"
What is that?
Yeah.
Imagine that the life of Bob Lazar.
Yeah, and I
Your
mean, like,
whole-
everything with his wife.
Your whole life,
Your
everybody
whole
thinks
life,
you're a fraud.
your whole life erased though. They erase your. I think he went to Loyola, something like that. He went somewhere, maybe
MIT.
Berkeley.
Yeah, and they tried to smear him, dude.
They smeared him. It's literally out
Tried
of
That
to
just
control.
erase
shows you.
him.
That just shows you he knew too much. They only do that when
You're a
somebody's
threat.
got the exactly.
you're a threat.
When you're a threat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can only hope to get to that point where the government tries to erase you. He's done something.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah, right. He's done something notable.
They put that much effort into just erasing your credibility.
And past, man, they try to erase him from like schools.
For
And
his
and,
job,
and the
his past, and he has
laboratory, right?
multiple sources that will
Yeah.
verify he was at school and he was at, I forget where he worked directly out of college, but both places. He has multiple people that say, yeah, he worked here for years.
Yeah.
He attended
Yeah.
here for years.
And then there was a thing too with like how the machine that you could get
Uh,
into the facility.
that
Yeah,
wasn't
that
It was a
technology.
hand.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a hand.
It was like a
machine. You stick your-
skeletal graph.
It measured your bone
Yes.
length or something.
Yep,
And that's
exactly.
how it would determine you.
And your density.
And he was the only one that knew that. Like he talked about knowing that existed, and everybody was like, "That
No
that
way."
wasn't real. That
And then
wasn't
it
real."
came
And
out.
They actually found pictures of it.
Yes.
And he saw it, and he's like, "Yep, that is exactly what it was."
Pull that up, TJ. It's
That's a thing now, isn't it? Like, isn't that?
yeah, no, it's a thing
The
now.
same
But
with that
back
element.
then,
Isn't one of the elements that he referred to
yes,
something
that
got
element is
discovered later
on the elemental
Yeah,
table right
element
now.
115, I think has been discovered. It was discovered in like a in a air
There it is.
vacuum something.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
here's
that
the hand
he
scanner.
described that initially to people back when all of this was coming out. I think it was the 80s or 90s. He was describing that, and everyone was like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah,
we
they're like, that doesn't exist.
And the government even said that does not exist. Blah blah blah. And then lo and behold,
Yeah,
you
it
can
is.
listen to his description, and it is exactly how you're seeing it right now.
yeah,
Just
True.
many things that he is come out and say that become true down the line. And he is so timid to even talk about any of this.
I know.
He says it on. He's like, I'm kind of already regretting coming here right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a lot of attention towards him.
Yeah,
You know,
that
like
he
really
prob-
the attention should be on
the government.
the actual, the government
or
and the
what's
actual
happening.
information.
Yes. And he's like, this. I'm kind of rehashing it at this point, but
Yeah.
I think he realizes the weight that or what that can do.
He also too, like with everything that happened to him, getting like they tried to erase him from history. Like I'm sure he's also thinking like, wow, if I come here and talk, what's next for me?
What's next?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
is someone gonna show up and shoot? You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
It's
Bob
crazy,
Lazar
man.
dies
Especially
of heart
back in like the
attack.
70s and stuff when they were actually like, you know,
Oh,
when he was
yeah.
actually first coming out. That's when like he was definitely at his most vulnerable, bro. I would have been like not been able to sleep at night thinking that the men in black were gonna come by and give me the old
The Men in Black.
mind wiper.
Don't remember anything.
Put the shades on.
Yep.
That is a classic movie, by the way.
What a scene! Everybody, look at me.
What a amusement ride, man. What is it? Universal?
Yeah, I
Universal's
went on it
awesome.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
My
You were
family
in
would go
Florida?
to that every
Yeah, I went to
single
Universal.
year,
Nice.
man.
And
It's
Disney,
so
yeah.
fun.
What do you like better, TJ? If you're, and we're not talking about just rides, the atmosphere and the
Disney.
rides.
Disney has a better atmosphere and whatnot, but
Last time I was at
what rides make you say Disney?
Aerosmith.
I liked the new.
Aerosmith's
Yeah, that's
cool.
fun,
That's
and I liked
fun.
the Star Wars Land. Was
I haven't.
really cool.
I haven't been there.
Aerosmith is like 0 to 60, like that.
Aerosmith's fast. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's that fast.
Yeah,
but it's
but you're like inside,
it's like in
going up and
3 to
down
5
and
seconds.
around.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rock and roller coaster.
Yep,
yeah,
yep. I remember that one.
Even just right here at home, the what is it, Flight of Fear?
dude.
The one at
Fear is
Kings
awesome.
Island
Island.
has such great rides.
that Giga Coaster
does,
just
yeah.
came out. What's it called? Orion.
Yes, I wrote it. I wrote it this summer.
I didn't even know
awesome.
it was our. Isn't it's? So I think what a Giga Coaster means is I think it's a 300
Yeah, it's like
or
it's kind of like Diamondback. It was very much
Just
designed like
bigger.
Diamondback, only it's bigger. Yeah,
on steroids.
And that drop is straight down,
Oh,
man. It's like
fuck.
and you dip,
Funny.
but it's got a lot of airlift to it. It's a fun ride, but I actually like Diamondback better. Diamondback
I've
goes
always-
faster, man. Diamondback is so much fun.
As I've gotten older, and I don't know how this works, I've gotten like I don't really like roller coasters anymore.
Really?
But
Really?
I still love
Yeah, I
Diamondback.
guess
I
agree
love
with
roller
you.
coasters.
Dude, I used to like I used to be like, all right, yeah, I'll ride Drop Zone. A little scared. There's no shot I'm going
Oh,
out
I
there
love
now.
it. That's one of my favorite
No
rides. Yeah.
shot.
Drop Zone's one of my
I'm
favorites.
good with that.
No
That's
shot
one of my
I'm going out there
favorites.
now.
I
And you
hate
hear like
that.
stories about
Yeah,
wherever that was, and
exactly.
like there was a ride similar to Drop Zone, one
The
of the
limbs.
big towers, and one of the wires
Oh,
cut,
God.
Yeah.
dangling their leg.
The
and it just
limb,
went
yep.
whoosh,
Drop
and his
Zone
leg
doesn't
right
have
off.
those wires.
But
I
in
still
general,
would think about
in
that.
general,
I mean,
yeah.
you can't.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's definitely.
I think about that every time I
heights.
get on a roller coaster. Actually,
Have you seen that? Delirium.
Yes.
There's a video of that one, not the same one, but in another country where it's going boom,
And it
boom,
just
and it
slings
just
off, yeah.
slings
Oh
off.
my god.
You guys ever seen Final Destination? Any of those movies?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Those are. I actually watched those. I watched, I think, 2 of them like this summer. It wasn't 2. Yeah,
Those are so fun.
It's more of like did that actually just happen versus like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
like, what is going on right now?
yeah. The first
Most
one was good with the
extreme
airplane
ways of
like
that.
blowing up
Yeah.
in the kid. But then I watched the roller coaster.
I
one,
was
too.
just going to say that
That got a little ridiculous. Yeah, they were okay, but the
Back when you're 12, 13, you're like,
Whoa.
yeah.
yeah.
That dude's head just got blown
off,
off on a
yeah.
roller coaster.
Exactly.
Whoa.
The girls like fucking burn in the tanning bed.
All right, let's stop this.
Yeah, it was just. I think I missed the window of like appreciating that.
Yep.
movie.
They just movies like that just don't they just rely on the gimmick, and
Yeah,
then after
the
a
shock.
while it just goes
It's
away.
just
You
like,
know, like the Saw movies eventually became.
Oh
the
my
first
God.
Saw movie
Yeah.
is a really good movie. It's a really good horror movie, and then after that they just ham it up with the gimmick, and eventually
And
just
the
becomes,
blood and the gore
yeah, it
and
just
all
becomes
that.
gore
Yeah.
fest.
And then at that point, it's just a cop out at that
Right.
point. You're just trying to get the shock factor.
Joe, I'd love for you to go back on. We touched on it for a second. The Interstellar. I mean, we're talking about this.
Yeah.
That was
When I watched
Crazy
that
good
movie, it actually, and they say, like, well, first of all, the depiction of the black hole is very accurate,
right.
let alone
That's
that, but like,
crazy.
what,
Wow.
just everything, like how time, well, obviously, we don't know much about what they're talking about, but how time moves, like how you can, like, how like different dimensions work, like stuff like that when they're going through and they're like, he's like, what was that? He's like, the first handshake. And you go back later and he comes back. You're just the whole time you're
the
like,
way they
I
manipulate.
know. Ugh.
gives me the chills.
It's a
dude.
really good movie, man.
Very
Just
good
such a
movie.
My biggest problem with it, and to this day, it's my biggest problem, is the last 20 minutes of that movie. I think it's very unnecessary.
Explain.
As in like the circle,
When he gets back
and he's like
and
Murph.
he's in bed and he's in the hospital,
wakes
bed.
up.
Everything after that, I'm just like, eh.
Wait, really? I kind of liked
I
it.
kind of liked
he
it too.
reconnected with his daughter, who's now
I didn't
like,
really, not that I
The
didn't
bookcase?
like that, but that didn't really touch me. It was more of like how everything kind of like ended up. Like I think they called it like, forget the name of his character in that movie, but the planet was called whatever his name was.
Yeah, Matt Damon's character.
No. McConaughey.
Oh.
Yeah, it was called like
yeah. What's his last
Let's
name?
just say I don't remember his name,
Yeah.
but they just used his name and they were saying like
Murphy. No, that's his daughter's name.
you connected us. Like the reason why this civilization is alive right now is because you Coop. I think it was called like Coop. Let's just say it was like Cooper's Island. I don't know what
Yeah.
Cooper's
Cooper
Planet.
Station, yeah.
Cooper Station. I think that might have been
Yeah.
it. But they're just like you are the reason why like
why we
the
do
human
what we do. Yeah, that was
civilization
kind of cool,
has
yeah.
continued. And I like the little background of like they needed to find another place to live, or else the dust and everything was going to completely wipe out the crops.
The thing I wanted from it, and I felt like was missing, was that kind of factor where you kind of have to put it together at the end. You know,
That's
it was
what I
too
was-
much of a. It was too
I
much of
see
a
that.
bow at the end.
I see
think.
what
It was
you're saying.
There's what I wanted, and what I did actually in high school when I had the movie on my hard drive was I actually edited out. I cut the last 20 minutes of
Oh
it
my
off.
god!
Yeah.
And I watched the movie.
To the
'Cause-
extreme.
And then what I did was I literally just cut it off. And there's the part where he's out spiraling in space and you can just see the spaceship coming towards him in the background. That's where I cut to black.
Also, the part where
And
he goes,
it's so much better because you can just see that he's being rescued, but at the same time, you just assume like everything that you see in those last 20 minutes, you just know is going to happen in some way.
yeah.
You know,
They're gonna tie it up.
It just kind of feels like it's tacked on just for service more than it actually
Maybe-
is for the story.
TJ, would you like Google up to when is that supposed to be based? Like in
It's in
right?
the future.
It's
It's
in
like
the
Well, no,
future.
but I know, but what
Yeah,
year,
can
what
you look
year?
up
That'd
what
be
year,
a good
actually? That's a
because like
very good-
that could be
yeah.
dawning on us pretty soon.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I would love to know when. They
I
were
mean,
made.
the total what's the word? Devastation of like crops. You know, once like natural disasters. I mean, at some point, whether or not that's going to be 1,000, 1,000,000, 10
I'm
years,
trying to see. I can't see.
natural disasters are going to
Wait, yeah,
be a
right there,
common
the
thing.
B at the bottom, go down a little bit. When does Interstellar take place?
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
I see you.
Oh.
Um,
gonna
Apocalyptic.
make you read some
I don't
long
know if they
article.
even give a year.
I think it's all just interpreted, or what's the word?
Yeah, interpretation.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think they
just-
actually have a
It's
year.
right there.
Oh, right there, 20.
Coop's birthday.
2070s, yeah.
Oh, his birthday is in the 2035, so 2070s.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if all
And
goes
then-
well, we'll be alive then.
And
Yeah.
then something great from there was like how when you were moving at such a high speed, like time doesn't. It's all like doesn't slow
Slow
down.
down.
It just doesn't go. I guess the word
Yeah.
would be slows down. Like when they go in and they go around the orbit of
They go to that water planet.
Let's-
and
I think
that's
it's
what takes,
Miller or
7
something
years.
like that.
It takes like 7 years.
because
off the-
there like time is moving. I guess the way it would be is whatever the number would be, but it's moving.
it was like 7 years. It's like
7
an hour
years
or
is an
whatever.
hour. So do the math. Whatever that would
Yeah,
be
it
is
was
that many
crazy.
times faster.
That was
because-
a really brilliant idea to put in that movie.
Exactly.
I love the way they
And
just
it's
explain
true.
it too. When
Yes.
he has the way he explains the wormhole with the paper and
Yep.
sticks the pen through
and he
it.
folds the paper.
Yeah, and he sticks the pen through it. Yeah,
Yep.
that was really brilliant. I'm
It
like,
was.
yo, that's really good
and,
storytelling.
and they were
Yeah,
saying
very,
like the
very
fact that
true.
like when time moves faster, when you were moving faster, time is slower, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
yes,
That's
Yeah.
how it works. Like time
yes,
doesn't.
because it's relative to.
It's
how
relative to your
yeah.
speed or whatever.
Speed.
Mass
And
and
then-
acceleration.
and that whole shock factor of when Coop and the what was the actress name that plays
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway,
Yeah.
and they get back into the spaceship from the water planet, and their other partner right, is up there, and he's like,
He's got the beard.
He's got the gray beard,
Yes.
and he says something like, "It's been 28
it's been
years." So-
blah blah blah.
Something crazy, right? And he's like, he said he went into that hibernation state.
Yep.
He's like, and after a while, I just gave up and was just gonna ride it out.
Just
Here.
ride it
yeah,
out,
it was
yeah.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
No. He's talking about how
American dude who was
Oh,
up.
that's right.
Remember
Yeah.
that? On the
That's
wall,
right,
and they get back,
yeah.
and
he
he's
was doing
just
research.
aged.
right.
But the
He
Matt
went, I'll
Damon
stick behind and do research. And Matt Damon's coward ass, just like he hit the beacon.
They're
Dr.
always the one to
Man.
save his ass in every movie.
In that, no, the funny thing about that is when I saw those two movies maybe once or twice each, I got mixed up between The Martian and
Yeah, they came out around the same
Yeah,
time.
and I was just
Okay,
like, I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
tie together which one was which. That was also another good movie.
Yeah, that was a really good
The
movie.
Martian
I
was a
actually watched
very
that
good
recently.
movie.
Did you guys see the Brad Pitt movie that was kind of
Ad Astra.
Ad Astra?
Oh,
I saw that.
Good
I thought
one.
it was all right.
Joe,
I wish it was
out.
better.
I will.
I wish it was better.
I think it's HBO.
I also
Max.
still have not seen
Yeah.
2001: Space Odyssey.
Neither have I.
I need to watch that too.
watch it.
I heard
It's
that's
so
better,
good.
and obviously the people are going
crazy.
to. I heard
What's
it's
it
better
on?
than Interstellar.
What's it on?
Or we should watch it.
I'm down.
It's
Yeah,
very
what's it
different
on?
than Interstellar.
Different is a better way to
Yeah,
say it too.
it's-
Yeah.
Isn't it like a 60s movie?
Yes, it came out in the late '60s, but man, it still
Wow,
holds
I did
up.
not
It
know
came
it
out in
was that long ago.
'67,
Wow.
and it still looks good, man.
I just watched the.
A lot of people thought Kubrick shot the moon landing. Because
Yeah, that's a.
Oh, 'cause it was that
movie.
good?
Because of
Because it
that
was
movie, yeah,
the-
it looks
like-
pretty convincing, I will say. And the music is epic.
We're speaking of like 60s movies like that. I just actually rewatched, but the more recent ones, the Planet of the Apes movies.
Ooh.
And
I
those
haven't
were like
seen the OG ones.
And my mom had come down while I was watching it. Right, I was at home, and she had come down and was like, some of the character names are given off whatever his son's name is, the monkey's son. But it's like that is those are the prequels to like the old movies that came out of the Planet of the Apes. And like
It's like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. And all
Yeah,
that.
They just keep producing them, huh?
Caesar's the monkey's
Yeah.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CG in that looks really good too.
Yeah, really.
Sometimes I think there's like overkill, but I think that's a good.
I agree. I like
Sometimes
the
it's like-
practical. I like the animatronics, and that's why
Yeah.
Willy's Wonderland, man.
Yeah.
Different animatronics.
Yeah.
Are there any like pictures of why they would think that that Kubrick was tied up to the moon? Like, is there any like there's like a side
Yeah.
by side?
Well,
Kubrick,
so
like the
it's
director,
also
okay.
could be seen in The Shining because there's also a conspiracy that
Yeah,
The
because you can
Shining.
see he's wearing there's that documentary Room 237. It's about
yes.
The Shining, and that's crazy.
Yep.
Let me see if we can pull up something here about the moon. I mean, yeah, here's like a they just put these people here. I don't know. I mean, if you just watch,
See, there's the
2001
Shining.
I mean, yeah, here's The Shining where Danny has the
There's
rocket on his
multiple-
chest. I think this was a nod to him
There's multiple though.
doing the to the theory of him being the guy who shot the moon landing. But yeah, here's a shot from 2001. But yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I just don't think that they could do that. I feel like I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't be convincing, and maybe I'm being duped this whole time. I don't know.
What?
Just faking the moon landing. Yeah.
Well, it was a strategy for the to be the first ones
to beat out the Russians. Yeah, to beat out the
PR
USSR.
Get the Soviets
That's
to drain their resources.
But no,
Absolutely, yeah.
I do believe we went to the moon. I do.
I do too.
I
do.
think
too.
I think we actually have been beyond it. I think I already said that, but yeah.
Where do you?
That's just what I
when
mean.
you-
It's just
when
I
you
don't have
say
any
that, you gotta
substantiation
explain
to that. It's just a feeling I have. But-
okay, so what other planets then? Or like
I don't know if he
else?
means that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly. I
more
think
just
you
like
wouldn't think
we've
that.
moved a lot of equipment to the moon, and I think even
So-
maybe Mars, we've obviously we have the rover there now, but like
Yeah.
I think we've actually done more on those two, on the moon and on Mars than
I was
so
reading
Mars
this
would
thing
be
the other
Mars.
day, and it was
I don't know.
talking
I could be
about
wrong.
how
I'm
like
it's a theory.
I like
if
that.
if we wanted to get to another star or another galaxy, there's this like theory. It's called like the time theory, and basically what it says is if you let's say I think somewhere we want to go. I don't remember where. I think it's Andromeda or whatever.
Yeah.
Some galaxy. Okay, it would take at
Closest one.
at the speed of light. I think it would be about 10,000 years. Okay, so let's say we send somebody out there. What is the perfect time to send somebody out on a 10,000 year mission? Because for all we know, in 1,000 years, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? So like there's a theory basically saying like when is the best time to send people?
Oh,
When
all
is
our cameras are dying.
when is basically the best time to send people somewhere? Because if you send them there and they're on their way, and then it takes 10,000 years to get there, in 1,000 years you might already figure out how to get there 5 times faster. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's hard to interpret because you might be sending people on a 10,000 year mission. Well, I mean, in 2,000 years, we're probably going to have a lot more technological advancements.
100 years.
In 100 years. So it's like, when is the best time to send people to a desired place? That's
a
the
good
hardest part.
But then also like, are you just sending like a man and a woman or a couple men and women?
And that's another
just
thing.
to keep reproducing.
Reproducing, yeah.
And then basically you have to teach the kid, hope that no one gets any kind of disease, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A disease on a intergalactic spaceship, that doesn't really seem like it's going to go well.
Yeah, right. I mean, then
But yeah.
you just teach the kids that are on there everything that you've
Yeah,
learned.
exactly.
Like,
So yeah, a big part is like, how do we know when the best time to send people out is?
no, that's a great point.
Yeah, no, both our cameras just died, so I think that's our sign that we may need to wrap it up.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having
I
us.
was definitely nervous at first, but this was fun.
Yeah, no, you guys will definitely have to come back on.
I'm down.
It's cool. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Talk about the current times.
Once you get
Yeah.
it flowing, it's just
Exactly.
Anything you guys want to plug though before we go?
Before
this thing dies, too?
Let's see.
Anything?
Yeah, I don't really got
Social
much,
media,
but, yeah.
business, anything?
Follow Joe Higgs _ on Instagram. That's about it.
Thomas, anything? No.
Thank you for having me, TJ.
Add him on Snap.
Thanks for coming on. Add me on everything, tjmartino.com. Go to the website. Let me turn the camera around a little bit. Yeah, go to the website, tjmartino.com. TJ Martino podcast on Instagram. TJ Martino on Twitter. You know the deal. Just go there, check out all the links and stuff.
Check out my huddle.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
And let the beat drop.